All right. Hello, knockouts. TonyaTko here. Let me make sure the background noise is down as low as it can go. Oh my goodness. What is this thing doing? Oh my lord. Oh my goodness. Let me turn this off. Oh my goodness. All right. Welcome in, everybody. TonyaTko here. And we are going to do some live coaching on air tonight. Especially after last night's transmission and the videos that we've had following up, I realized that there is a tremendous need out there, right? So this is what we're going to do in this broadcast. So one of the things that I noticed last night is that there were people who called in who were not ready to create change in their lives. They were not ready to take the steps. And the calls were powerful for people who were listening in, people who were watching. And for some of the people who called, the calls were powerful as well, right? And so I decided to try something a little different than we have done before. And that is offering purposefully, not just having phone calls that are supposed to be random, but setting the intention for having phone calls that are going to be coaching sessions live. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up, and it is going to be there's going to be an energy exchange. I'm looking at the YouTube and the Facebook numbers. We are live on Periscope, we are live on Facebook, and we are live on YouTube. YouTube is suppressing the views because of Cashapp being in the title, probably a $sign being in the title. But that's fine because the notification is about to go out to the text notification squad. So YouTube could play their games if they want to, but we're no falter. We're no lower, we heads. So that is fine. We're getting ready to do that right now. So welcome in. J.R. Harris says you're just here for the comments. Please don't be here just to be blocked, my dear, because we're not playing snarkiness or passive aggressiveness. All right, Jessica is coming in. I'm waiting for the text notification crew to get their text notifications. There we go. Just came in. So I want you to see how the numbers go from 13 people to the text notification crew coming in. So when you come in, come and say hello. So now the people are filtering in through YouTube. I'm telling you, this is why I'm so glad that we did the text notification squad, because these websites try to play people. They try to play people, but we're not here for the games that they're trying to play, right? So here we have it. So welcome in. Hey, Elle. Hey, Charlene, if you're a part of the text notification crew, come along and throw your tens up as you come in. Let me get the chat vertical up on the screen. So welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, Alvi, welcome in, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm just giving you all a few moments to just filter in. Let me get my microphone and all that other stuff set up. So there are a few different things that we're going to do, right? So welcome in. Hey, Jessica, welcome, welcome. Throw up your tens, text notification squad. Let me load the settings from my microphone. And welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, there we go. So you see what I'm saying, right? I just want you all to just look and see how YouTube is trying to play me. It's like, or how YouTube is trying to play us. You didn't get your text notification, Ashley? Which, Have you ever gotten a text notification from me? Because if you have not, then we need to do the things that we need to do behind the scenes to make sure that you get up and running, right? Somebody, what in the world? This is interesting. So, hey, BW, hey, everybody, come in, come in, come in. We're going to do some live coaching. Hey, Rachel, welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So, Ashley, have you ever gotten a text notification from me? So, Duchess says she got her YouTube notification. When did you get it? Because there's 47 people on the live on YouTube, and it was 13. So, you got one this morning, but you didn't get one now? Really? Okay. That's interesting. You know what? Contact me privately. Let's see what we need to look into, because you can't give me your phone number here in the live chat. So Ionia got her text. Oh, Shadiana text in the house. Yes. All right. Wonderful. Doris are says I have never. Are you a part of the text notification squad, Doris? Right? If you're not, then that would explain why you have never gotten it. All right, so let's talk about who I am, what we're doing tonight, and how tonight differs from other nights, right? So here, thank you, text notification squad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Of course, there's a delay because that's how broadcast does it. There's no broadcast besides the person to person broadcasts that are done on mobile phones. There's no broadcast that is put out there that does not have a delay. And part of the reason that the delay exists is for instant replay, for stopping a broadcast if there is troubling things happening in the broadcast, because some people are murking people on live broadcasts, and so they have to be able to cut it off and have the feed not go through. And so instant replay, those types of things. So yes, there is a little bit of a delay. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, so let me just tell you what it is that what we're doing tonight, and then we're going to talk about the retreat that we're having coming up soon. So Benjamin has a question. What is your question, Benjamin? Talk to us. Do people call you Benji? Denise is saying, I didn't get my YouTube notification, but got Facebook. That's fine. The only notifications I am concerned about are the people who are on the text notification squad. And for those of you, let me take this off of the screen so that we're not distracted by the comments while we give the intros, right? The text notification squad are a select group of people who get a text notification whenever I go live. Right now, there are about 500 people who have signed up for the text notification crew. And so when these platforms try to suppress the feed or suppress the video, or unsubscribe people, etc., there are people who know how to be able to get a message whenever I go live. So the link is in the description on how to join the text notification squad. And it is $1.99 a month or $22 for the year if you're in the US. If you're international, it's $4.99 a month or $22. Wait, $4.99 or $50 for the year. All right, but the links are below with the description and the whole payment thing and all of that so that you know how to do it. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a certified life coach with a specialty in relationship coaching. And I am offering the opportunity for people who would like to call in and get some coaching live on air. I'm offering you the opportunity to have that done for $29. You can send it through on Cashapp, and then I will just send it through and I'll call you back on the phone number that you send through, and you can present an issue that you're working on in your life, a situation that you want to shift the energy of in your life. You can call in with an issue with a romantic partner, with a family partner, a financial issue that you're working on and want to work through. So those are some of the ways that you can utilize what it is that we're doing here today. And while we are waiting for, because I understand that there's a difference between, the people who would, I'm going to say this, how do we put this? I know that there's a difference between people who are ready to create a shift, ready to reach out and how do I put this? I know that there's a difference between the people who are ready for a shift and the people who want to posit as if they're ready for a shift. If you are ready to get live coaching here on air, just Cash App the $29 and I will take you right here on air and we'll have the discussion live. So who is brave enough? Let's see. And while we're waiting for that, I'll talk about what it is that we're doing next and coming upon. So we're going to be having a retreat, and the retreat is going to take place in September. I'm working on securing the dates. So those of you know how we got here. There was a broadcast that we did last night, and in the broadcast, we became painfully aware of the work and the healing work that we need to do as Black women. And so we are going to have a retreat in nature. We're going to do it during the autumn equinox, which is a highly spiritual time for us, we're going up into the mountains in California, and we are going to come together in unison. We're going to come together in unison and work on Shani. It's not similar to a tarot reading. It's more similar to being coached through an issue that you may be dealing with for which you would like to create a shift. So there are many different tools that that can be utilized during a coaching session, right? Renee is saying, what are my credentials? I am a certified life coach with a specialty in relationship coaching. I announced that in the beginning of the video. And so, listen. And so I'm reading some of the comments on the side. And so we see, right? We see that there's a difference between the way that people approach when there is even something as small as $29 on the line. So now people are like, oh, well, what exactly is this? You know, what are your credentials, etc. Whereas if the phone lines were just open, people would call up and express, but really not be in a place to really put their foot, not put their foot down, but really not be in a place to be able to want to create the shift and the change, right? So Benjamin asked, do you think, hold on, let me put this here. Do you think life coaches help Black people or others as in non-Black? I don't understand what you mean by that. I'd love for you to elaborate. You're wondering whether or not life coaches help Black people. Do you think that there's something about Black people that is uncoachable? Do you think that Black people only work with non-Black clients, or do you think Black people cannot or cannot? I don't know. I don't understand that question. I need you to elaborate a little bit more, because that doesn't. I'm curious. All right. So Nettie is saying, how much will the retreat cost? The retreat will be $997, and it'll be 3 days in the wilderness. Well, not exactly the wilderness. We're going to have cabins, right? Kevin, hey Kevin, welcome. Who wrote what? Somebody named Benjamin wrote that from Facebook, of course. Of course. And Dear is saying, the nerve of Black women to want to be compensated for their talents. Tonya, these people are ridiculous. Wait, who? Who is trying to question whether or not people should be compensated? Benjamin, of course, Black people benefit from coaching. But one of the things that I find is that Black people sometimes lack the level of self-worth that it takes to invest in yourself, in things that are outside of the primal levels of the what is that chart that shows the different levels of where a person is in terms of what they can concentrate on? So at the base level, it's like food, shelter, those types of things. And it seems like Black people operate from this level down here, where we don't really reach out and invest in the things that are on a level above, where it is that we are on a basic survival. What is the name of that hierarchy? It's not Maslow's. Is it Maslow's hierarchy of need? I think it's Maslow's hierarchy of need. Well, yes, thank you, Yerba Goddess. Absolutely. So we'll take a look. I'll look up Maslow's hierarchy of need for you. Here it is. I'll put it up on the screen over here. All right, so this right here is Maslow's hierarchy of need. And I'll show you what, let's see. Maslow's hierarchy of need, psychology.org. All right. So we have here at the top, right? Let's go down. Let's make this larger and go down to the bottom, right? So at the bottom of the list, we see physiological needs: food, water, warmth, rest, right? Then above that, we have safety needs, which are security and safety. And these are in the lower area, which are just basic needs, right? Then when we get up to psychological needs, we have belongingness and love needs, intimate relationships, and friends. This is where Black people begin to kind of fall off. So we can acknowledge that we need to have and nurture relationships, but we also volley back and forth between, I don't need anybody, I'm fine, only crazy people get therapy, etc. Then we go up above that level, we have esteem needs, which are prestige and feeling of accomplishment. And then above that, we have self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. Hey, BJ Martin, welcome in. Welcome, 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 welcome. So, with that being said, I find that when it comes to our community, that sometimes we are just so that we are rallying around in the lower levels where we are just not even able to stretch outside of that, right? Where we just can't even see. Like when I was living in my car, there were things that I just really couldn't do. There were areas of thought that I just could not stretch my mind into because I needed to concentrate on shelter, food, water, warmth, and rest at the base level, right? So I says I'm currently in the blue zone, which is prestige and feeling of accomplishment. Oh, wow. Congratulations to you. Congratulations. All right. So, all right, here we go. Deficiency needs versus growth needs. It goes up from there. Very interesting. All right, Catherine. Hey, welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. So, for those of you who have been on my broadcast over the past few days, right? I am doing this video as an example, right? And I'm doing the video as a sort of experiment of sorts, right? To take a look and see, because when we have the phone lines open, the phone lines are nonstop back to back, and people enjoy and people truly benefit from reaching out and touching, right? Being in touch with another person who will hold space for them and coach them through their issues and assist them in having breakthroughs, right? And people will feel, they feel happy and joyous for that, right? Now, right, on today's video, attach a small incremental monetary value to it, right? And apprehension then comes in, right? And I want to ask, where do you all feel the apprehension comes in? Why the phone line is not ringing off the hook, right? That's what I want to know. Where do you all feel the apprehension comes in from? With something as small as investing $29 in yourself, where do you think the apprehensiveness may come in from? I'm curious. I'm going to put the chat up so that we can see. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. So we have Entire and Cutie. Oh, Eritrean and Cutie. Oh, okay, my bad, my bad. All right, well, welcome in, Eritrean and Cutie. I don't know where Maslow got his inspiration, but I'm sure if you read up on it, you will see. So I'm curious, where do you all think that the apprehension then comes in? All right. So here, let's help the boom out. Here's some makeup for you. Hey! Welcome to the block party. You could go put your makeup on in there with other people. With the other people who are in the block party with you. All right. All right, let's take a look at the answers. Antoinette says, if I needed coaching in something, I would call in. Dare says, you know, they like Black women to mule for free so much that when we, oh, it went by so quickly, that when we, worthy of the chase, even Black women expect other Black women to mule. Leah says, people will buy clothes without trying on, but are reluctant to buy services without trial. Okay, Renee says, I knew that was going to happen. Abundant One has a question they want to speak up. Shamarla says to reference the chart, scarcity of resources. Hey, Black, welcome in. I think it's a great idea, perhaps feeling embarrassed of what others may hear. Well, listen, has anybody noticed that anyone has ever been embarrassed to call in and open up and let it all on the line when there's no financial investment whatsoever? Has anybody noticed that there's a lack of people calling? Because there are many people who call and open up about some heart-wrenching things that they even themselves feel embarrassed about, right? And so Lola says the same reason Black people don't support Black business, they think you owe them something. Very interesting. Eritrean says brand recognition conditioning makes us not trust anything we are not programmed to quote unquote know or recognize. Catherine says $29, not bad, very reasonable. Abundance says I spend $30 for a blank to fix my mental. That's amazing. You know something? I can't. So we see that, right? I don't think most people spend enough time on self-reflection. They think when they have certain milestones in life that somehow they need to work on self. Oh, they don't need to work on self. Interesting. People don't believe in spending money, in my opinion, especially when it comes to Black business. I don't think most people spend enough time. Oh, we read that. They want free 99. Black people just started seeking therapy in the last few years, and they would rather see kitten heels than pay you, unfortunately. Tawana says, nope, they tell it. Allie says, they feel if they get the advice and it may fail because they don't want to do the work, then instead of looking at themselves, they'll turn around and blame you and say that you try to scam them out of their money. Queen is saying also some people think that when something doesn't cost much, you're not getting good quality. They want to suck the life forces from others. Money is energy as well. They don't want to give energy back to the universe. They want you to give your services away for free. I would like the opportunity to invest $29 in myself. However, I truly don't have it. I realize you can't put a price on health. Maybe because the phone number is not on the screen. Oh my goodness. Angelique is having a sickle cell crisis. You know, we talked with a young lady earlier today, right? We talked with a young lady earlier today, and the young lady wanted to take time off, right? And so I coached her early, right? So Shanae is ready, says, I'm ready. Should I Cash App now? Yes, Cash App now. So we spoke with the young lady, and the young lady said, I can't afford it. And during her coaching session, I asked her to think, how can I afford it? That was the question, right? And once you start thinking, how can I afford it? Because as we sit here in this chat, there are now 243 people on YouTube, 100 people on Facebook, right? I know that when it comes to human nature, some people are just waiting for the first person to break the ice so that they don't look like the odd person out. But that's fine. We're waiting for the Cash App now, right? And I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I was saying, because I start, reading the comments and seeing all the stuff on the screen is very distracting, right? So, what was I going to say? What was I saying before this? Ultimately saying my skin looking luscious. Oh, all right. Thank you. All right. So I was saying that I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. I'll just start saying something else then. We know that if I were doing a tarot reading, how many of you think that the lines would not be filled by now? Oh, so I was saying, and now I remember. So now there's 254 people on YouTube, 100 people on Facebook, and there are, you know what, you can even do you can do PayPal if you need to. The link is in the description. Just let me know let me know that you've sent it so that I can look over there, right? So when you ask the question, how can I afford it? It makes your mind think, how can I afford it? It activates a different part of the brain. Because saying I can't afford a thing is an affirmation. And as we sit here on the screen, there are people who have an additional $29 that they would dedicate and donate to another person. There are people who would do that. But when you keep quiet about what it is that you need, or feel that you don't deserve, or feel that you don't want to burden somebody or whatever, right? But the thing is that, all right, Godiva says she just paid. So we're going to look at that. Yes. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. Thank you. There's a little bit of a delay. We have to first have the feeling on the inside that we deserve for people, we deserve to receive, right? However, how much do we think about receiving in a one-way exchange? Well, it's not really an exchange if it goes one way. Because if the phone lines were open and we were doing this for free, how many people would feel comfortable saying, well, you know what, I'm going to call in, I'm going to get my coaching. I want coaching. I want this, right? And not really concern themselves with the one-way flow, right? And I think that these platforms have really set up content creators to be seen as people who we owe our content to people to sit back and watch, and we better find another way or something. All right, so the first person up is Freddie. And so I'm going to give Freddie a call back, right? Sati, I no longer do personal tarot readings. In the beginning of this year, I shifted my focus from doing tarot readings privately. So here, Freddie, I'm about to call you right now. Give me one moment. Lola said, all of a sudden they're asking Tonya what her qualifications are. Exactly. And I know that being a Nubian womb holder is part of that as well. Because how many people do you see asking Kitten Heels what his qualifications are? Really. And there are people who are donating heavily over there. But how many people ask? Because what are his qualifications? Let me dial this number.
Hello, Tonya. This is Freddie.
Yes. Hi, Freddie. How are you?
I'm also Miss Fred.
You're also what? Mixed Fred.
Miss Fred.
Oh, Miss Fred.
Miss.
Okay. Well, welcome, Miss
Uh-huh.
Fred. So,
Hi.
hi, welcome. So you're the first person. What was it that made you decide to be the first person to call in?
Well, I didn't know I was the first person. I came on and I was just like, you know what? When I saw the thing and it was like coaching, I was like, well, of course I'm going to invest in myself. You know, I trust you. And I'm like, everybody, I didn't think I was the first one. I was like, I might not even get a call.
Right. Well, you know
So,
what? That
uh,
is it's so interesting. It's so interesting that you say that because there were many people who were sitting back wondering whether or not they deserve, coaching, whether or not they deserve to be able to, to participate. So I appreciate you
oh
being
no.
the first one. So talk to me, what is the issue that you're dealing with right now that you would like to get coaching on?
Um, I have had to acknowledge that I have many codependent relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and I know it. And my way of trying to get out of it is having this I don't give an F attitude, but I don't really want to have a I don't give an F attitude because I really do care about the
Mm-hmm.
people I love. I just don't want to have these dysfunctional relationships that make me feel bad about myself while I'm
Okay.
doing all that I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. So you don't want to have the IDGAF attitude. But what do you think it is that sparks the I don't give an F attitude?
When I'm depleted
Okay.
and when I'm depleted and I feel like, because I meet needs, right? I feel like when you love people and you have your family or just love people in your life, you meet needs, you see the needs, you meet it. And I don't, um, and I think because I don't ask for help,
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it back. But I
Okay.
think my attitude is that why should I ask for help when you're not asking me for help? I see it, I need it, meet mines as
Mm.
well. But I can't
Okay.
make that assumption that people should do the same for me if I'm meeting. Do you know what I'm saying? So I definitely know I need to change because it's not they're not the problem. I am.
Okay. So give me an example. So you said that when you feel depleted, that you decide to just kind of tell people you don't give an F about their issues. And one of the issues that you're having with the current setup is when other people need help, that they don't have to ask you for help. You see that they need help, you see that they're in need, and you help automatically. But when you need help, no one offers.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I do think that no one thinks I need anything because I'm always showing up for them.
Okay. So, what
But
is it that you would like to do differently?
I think I would like to be a person that waits for people to ask for help. Um, I'm not. I think. Let me say this. I was raised in church. I really, really bought into it. I developed my relationship with God through church and religion, and I really believed in that. Doing to others as you would have to do unto you. What's
Mm-hmm.
yours is theirs, and it cripples me because that's how I really live my life. I put people above myself, and I do it a lot, a lot,
Okay. Okay.
and
Why?
where it has. It, um, because honestly, because I really felt that that was what I was supposed to do. I really
Okay.
felt like this is what was going to please God. This is
Mm.
how, I was going to. This is really my mentality was as long as I'm doing all of these things that I've been told that God wants, then my life will be blessed. So now I'm at a
Okay.
point in my life where I'm like, wait a minute. I have made enough, in my opinion, I have made enough investments where I should have more than what I have, but I can't have more if I've given everything that was given to me away.
Okay. Are you talking about money, resources? What are you referring to?
Money, resources, time, love, everything. Like I'm when I am in, I'm all in. There is no gray areas with me. None.
Okay.
I am either in or I'm out. So if I'm taking care of you, for example, I can give you a hypothetical example that is true. But let's say you and I are friends.
Mm-hmm.
I know you like something. You
Mm-hmm.
you'll probably never ever buy that for yourself again. If
Mm.
I know that we're going to go on vacation, you don't have the money, I'm gonna pay for it. If
Okay.
because I love you, and that's just
Right.
if you have a need or a necessity, I'm going to need it. It's just that's what friendship is for. That's what relationship is for. That's what family is for.
Okay. And
And
how do you
but then when
feel?
I don't have,
Okay. How do you feel when you give to people when they need? How does that make you feel?
um accomplished,
Okay. So it makes you feel
ac-
accomplished in what way? emotionally accomplished, financially accomplished?
Spiritually.
So it makes you feel spiritually accomplished. Okay.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
I'm meeting this need. This person is excited. They're happy. This is what we're supposed to do. What I have belongs to everybody.
Okay.
And
And when does
yeah,
the feeling change? When does the feeling change?
the feeling will change. I'll tell you when the feeling changes. I have
Mm-hmm.
these relationships. I can give you a perfect example. I have a friend that I am there for no matter when she calls, no matter what she needs. And I went into the hospital, and it was a surgery that, it was surgery. Surgery is
Mm-hmm.
surgery.
Yes.
And she didn't call. So 3 days
Really?
later, I called to see how she was doing.
Wow.
And said, I said, hey, I didn't die. And she goes, oh, yeah, and I was out with my other two friends on that
Mm.
day. And I
Okay.
was just like, okay,
Okay.
you know,
So this is what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that Miss Fred is there for other people when they're in need, even if they don't ask, you show up for them. However,
yeah,
when you're in need, people will not even take your need into consideration. You'll be there on your own. You run yourself ragged trying to help other people, and then at the end of the day when you need somebody, no one is there. Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay. All right. And when you called her from the hospital room and she made that statement to you, what was your response to her?
I said, okay. And I got off the phone and I cried.
Okay.
When I did regurgitate I didn't regurgitate it to her.
Mm-hmm.
I did it with my family. And I was angry. Like I said, I'm either cold or hot.
Okay.
And so the reason why, if me and you have a problem, I will never go off with you, because when I go off, it is ugly, and I
Okay.
don't really want to hurt you, and I don't want to not have our relationship at the same time. So I will
Okay.
never regurgitate in that way with you. But if I am by myself, or if I have my mom or somebody, when that regurgitation come off, it is not. It is ugly. It is ugly.
Okay. And so where is the middle ground? Where is the the conversation that's not either hot or cold, but just a conversation expressing how it is that you feel? Where's the middle ground for that?
I have no middle ground. I have no gray area.
And why is that?
None. Um, and you know what? I have to tell you, Tanya, everything goes back to my teaching in church. You're either hot
Okay.
or cold. You're either, yay or nay. And so I honestly can tell you, I don't know how to have the middle ground. I am either, when I say I'm all in or all out, that is me. I have
So
no,
when you
anybody
say
who
you're
knows me will
teaching in
tell you,
church, what do you mean? When you said goes back to the teaching in church, what was it about the teaching in church that said you're either hot or cold?
oh, there's scripture. Yay
Let,
or
let me
nay,
let's
hot or
hear
cold.
let's
If
hear
you
one
are
of the
not hot or
scripture.
cold, the Lord will spew you out.
No, that's the scripture.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
what do you know
that's
what book
scripture.
it is? The book and chapter?
I don't know. I don't know
Okay, so I'll Google
because
it.
of where okay, because of where I am now in the last year. I have really tried to do self love more.
Mm-hmm.
I try, for example, and this is real stuff. When I say example, it's real example. Um, there would be a season where maybe my sister may have a need. If I have $100 and her needs $100, but I might need $10, instead of me being like, let me take care of my need and then she can have the extra 90 and do the rest, I will not do that. I will give her the
Okay.
whole $100. And then when my need goes, I need, now I'm not mad about that part, but what'll happen later on is I'll have a need. Everybody knows I have the need because I said, hey, I have to do da 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 da. And it'll be like, oh, I hope you make it.
Okay. All
And
right.
I'm like,
So you know what?
okay.
I've pulled up the scripture and it says Revelations 3:15 through 17. And it says, I know your deeds, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out of my mouth. You say, I am rich, I have acquired wealth, and do not need a thing. But you do not realize that you are wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. Is that the verse that you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what does that mean to you?
You know what? It means to me that you need to be one way or the other. You need to have a stand. You stand for this or you don't stand. You stand for this or that. You can't stand for both. You can't
Okay.
be on one side and not the other. I mean, you
When
can't be
did
on both sides. You have to choose a side.
when did the
And
interpretation turn to temperament so that you are
because
either
you know
very
because
placid or like a raging fire?
because because church has its own interpretation of that scripture. So when you're raised
Okay.
in it, it may not have meant to be temperamental, but when it's taught, everything it most of the stuff that's taught in church is about temperament to control.
Okay.
So it may not that scripture may not have meant to be temperamental, but it's taught for temperament. It's taught
Okay.
to control temperament.
Okay. So
And I know this.
yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense and I feel exactly what you're saying. So my question to you is, um, are you a child of God? Do you consider yourself to be a child of God?
Yes,
Okay. So you consider yourself to be a child of God, and you said, according to your teachings, that God wants you to help, other people who are in need, and it actually makes you feel good to help other people, right?
yes.
When did that, when did you not become included in the people that you help? When were you taken out of that equation?
I don't know.
Okay. I want you to think back to the earliest time that you were not considered in the equation of the help that you give out. Like, if God wants you to help his children and you are one of his children, then that means that you're included in the help that you give yourself first and foremost. I want you to think back to the earliest time that you decided that you would self harm to help someone else. The earliest memory that you have of that.
10, 11,
Okay.
11, 10.
Okay. And what
Yeah.
was the feeling that you had around that? What were you doing? Who were you
Um,
helping to hurt yourself?
um, I don't, I can't say who I was helping.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I did a lot. Um, and at some point I knew that, here's what I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I could say this feeling goes back to maybe 7 or 8, the feeling
Okay. Okay.
of that I knew that I felt like I knew how to love people, but I
Mm-hmm.
knew without a shadow of a doubt that I did not know how to feel love,
Okay.
if that makes any sense. I knew,
Okay.
I felt like I knew at a young age that I'm loving, but I couldn't, if somebody was, I couldn't, the way that I did it was I felt like if people, because people tell you that they love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, people are telling me they love me, but I don't know if I really know what that feels like.
Okay. So 7 or 8 is really young. We're talking about
Yes,
still at the age where your parents are caring for you. So what
yes.
existed in your relationship with your parents that made you feel that you did not know how to receive love?
Um, I honestly think,
Mm-hmm.
and no fault of my mother,
Mm-hmm.
I parents do the things that they say.
Yeah.
Because if you ask me if my mom loves me, I say yeah, without a doubt.
Yes.
But my mom used to always say nobody will love you as much as I would. So in
Uh-huh.
my feeling was
Okay.
that I was unlovable and that
Okay.
she was the only one who could love me.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and she used to say it all the time. And I think that when parents say that they don't understand what they're doing, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
You can say I love you without telling a child that nobody else can love them.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
you don't have to cut off because they grow up and they want
Mm-hmm.
to get married and they want to have kids and they want to have relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
relationships turn into what people take from them instead of what people give. And
Right.
so, Mama, and so I do know that hurt me because at a young age I remember thinking like, what's wrong with me that nobody else but you? And even now, she'll say, "I love you," and I was just like, "Well, you have to,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, like you have to. You're my mom,
Yeah.
so that means nothing to me." Other than her, I have wonderful nieces that I've helped raise, who I would say are the only. I have one that is 22, and she's the only one. And so I can't say nobody, but I can say she's the only one that shows up in a way that is, but that is weird to me.
What do you
It's
mean?
weird. It's
When you say she shows
because
up in a way that's weird to you, what do you mean?
she goes out of her way to meet my needs. In
Okay,
little
so your
because
niece
she's
goes
young
out
and
of
she
her
lives
way to meet your needs.
like she'll do stuff like right now she knows I live where I can't have a puppy, and I want a dog so bad, so I'm waiting to move. And she bought for Christmas, she bought me this little dog, and she knows what I want to name it, so she tagged it. This little plush doll,
Oh,
little things like
okay.
that. That's because I'm
Yeah.
not a very needy person, so I don't
Right.
really don't need much, but it's the things like just thinking about the fact that, oh, I want a dog, and I want a toy dog? No, but it is the thought that
Yeah,
counts,
that
and
counts.
that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So let's
little
so
things
let's
like that.
explore this a little bit more. How old is your mother now?
Uh, 67.
And how old are you?
I am 48.
Okay. So your mother's 67, you're 48. So your mother had you when she was 19 and she herself was 18.
Yes,
Okay. And did she have children before you, or are you the oldest?
I am the oldest.
Okay. So do you remember what you were like when you were a teenager, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23? Do you remember when you were a young
Yes,
adult and the way that you processed
yes,
information and the way that you related to other
yes.
people? How does that compare to you and your wisdom now? How does that relate to how you relate to other people now at 48?
Um, it is absolutely probably the same. I just don't
Mm-hmm.
do it as much. It's
Okay.
the same.
All
I
right.
just know I don't do it as much because then I will not associate myself with church.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not in the fundamentals of that anymore. So I don't have
Mm-hmm.
those type of relationships anymore. So I do it less. But the relationships that I still have, I
Yeah.
don't let anybody else in. So
Got you.
those
Mm-hmm.
relationships have continued. So nothing has changed. I
Okay.
just know that I deserve more. At this
Mm-hmm.
point in my life, I really don't know how to give it to myself. I
Got you.
know I need to love myself. I know that I need to think about Freddie, but I have all of these people I'm still taking care of.
Yeah. No, I
I'm
feel
still
you.
helping raise these kids that aren't
Mm-hmm.
mine. I'm still
Yeah.
showing up for my mother. And so I can't, I feel like I made these investments
Yeah.
and I'm tied to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't let anybody else in. And it's funny because there's a lady at my job. She always goes, "I think you would be a good friend." And I go, "Yeah, I'm not a good friend." And I'm very firm on people outside of my bubble. Like I am not nice
Right.
at all. Everybody thinks I'm mean at work, but I'm not. And I'll be like, "Yeah, I don't have room for friends. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't have room. I can't. I don't have the energy." And people don't understand that when I say I don't have the energy, I don't
Yeah.
have the energy
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to repeat back to you what it is that I'm hearing, and I want you to tell me, how, what, if what I'm saying is accurate, right? So, as early as about 7 years old, you realized that you knew how to love other people, but that you didn't necessarily know how to receive love back in. And that's partly because your mother would make statements to you like, no one will ever love you as much as I do. And the way that in your child's mind that you interpreted that was that you were unlovable. And as you've grown up, now your mother is 67 and she'll say, I love you. But now at this point, it really, you don't really feel it because you're like, well, I'm your child. So of course the love is supposed to be there, right? And you
Yeah.
have a lot of people who are around you, friends, family members that you have locked in, and you are not accepting any new friends in your life because the level of investment that you give to the people that you already know is so great that you really don't have more of yourself to expend because you end up depleting yourself with the people that you already know.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question first and foremost is, Um, well, first, I want to say thank you for calling in. Thank you for listening to the part of yourself that even told you to get onto the internet today, that even resonated with you to invest in yourself in and say, you know what, I'm worth getting some coaching live on air. I'm worth that. So especially for you who 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 doesn't have a lot of people show up for you and sometimes don't show up for yourself, I want to congratulate you for listening to the higher part of yourself that had you call in today. Okay?
Thank
Yes, it's brave of you to reach out, and I'm happy that you did call in. My question for you, first starting with your mother, is it possible that your mother was a very young parent and that she herself really may not have understood the gravity of her words? Is that possible?
you. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let me say this with my mom. When we try to have a conversation, we cannot have a conversation with her because
Is
if
she
I say
abusive?
anything like, huh?
Is she abusive?
Mm, mm, I would say, just not say negative. It's
Okay.
like she'll be like, "Oh, I'm just such a bad mother. I get it," and I'm like, and really, this is what I tell my mom,
Okay.
and this is what I honestly believe. My mom was the best mother that she could have been
Mm-hmm.
compared to where she came from her parents.
Yeah.
She was she, I she was exceptional. You know, her
Okay.
father dropped out of school in kindergarten. Her mother dropped out of school in eighth grade. My mother went back and got her GED. All of her kids graduated. She has children.
Mm-hmm.
She has grandkids in college. She was the best mother that she could have been. And I can't,
Okay.
you can't ask for anything when somebody gives you their best.
Okay.
But you cannot call her on anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. None
You
of her
know,
kids can call her on anything.
you were not a part of our broadcast earlier. During our broadcast earlier, there was a young lady who I addressed in the comments because she was saying some things that I felt needed to be expounded upon. And her response was immediately, oh, I'm sorry for commenting. I'm just going to go back to observing, et cetera, et cetera. And we talked about it in that moment about the manipulative tactic that it is that many people employ, that when you attempt to
Hmm.
speak to them, that they then shift the focus onto, and we've spoken about this a lot on broadcast. They'll say, oh, I was a terrible mother. Oh, why don't you just kill me now? Oh, put me in an old folks home. Oh, I never did anything right. And it stops people from being able to have these open, honest conversations because then the focus turns to trying to have to soothe them now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when it comes to your mother, there's some programming that she has in there that is embedded in her and ways of relating to people that is not the most healthy, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, because that it's not healthy, and I'm sorry that you go through that. I'm sure that is very confusing and very frustrating for you. And those types of interactions stop people from being able to have open dialogue. Like you said, none of her children can really have honest conversations with her. And yes, she did the very best that she could for where it is that she came from. However, she
Yeah.
doesn't create a safe space for you to be able to have open dialogue with her, right? I'm going to tell you
Yeah.
this. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and the subconscious mind of a child, for we're born with our subconscious mind wide open, but the critical mind doesn't form until about the age of 8 or 9. So anything that you're told before then gets locked into your subconscious. And it's not until the critical mind starts beginning to form, like, around when you start questioning how Santa Claus could be in millions of homes all at once and in China at the same time. That's around the time that your
Yeah.
critical mind is forming. But by then, the messages have already been implanted into your subconscious mind, right? By then,
Yeah.
the messages
Yeah.
have already been implanted into your subconscious mind. And so the lives that we're living today are a result of the thinking and the rationalization of a child's mind. So the things that you're still acting out today are things that you interpreted as a 6-year old, a 7-year old, a 3-year old that taught you about your place in the world, where it is that you are in life, et cetera, right? And so now this has manifested into your life today, where you are putting yourself on the back burner and burning yourself out, assisting other people, helping to raise kids, giving money here, everything that you get, you give away. And in the moment that you're doing it, you feel good. You feel like you are doing God's word, that you're doing God's work. But when all is said and done, when the human part of Freddie needs help, some of her friends can't even stop hanging out with other people to even call you when you're in the hospital. So much so
Yeah.
that you in your hospital bed have to call them and then hear excuses from them about why they didn't even bother to reach out. And that the space is not created for or even developed inside of you to be able to have those difficult conversations in a plain way without going from 0 to 100. I would love
Yeah.
for you right now to have a difficult conversation with me. Is there somebody in your life right now that you need to have a difficult conversation with right now?
It would just be my mom.
Okay. Well, we know
Yeah.
that that interaction may
Yeah.
not go well.
No.
However, you still need to have the conversation. So I'm going to play the part of your mother, and I want you to express what it is that you need to express. Okay?
Mhm.
All right. So we can start on the count of three. All right. So one, 2, 3. Go ahead.
Um. So I need you to understand that most of everything that I've done in my life has been to please you, and
Hmm.
um, and it was never good enough. It was always like it was always like, well, you could have done it better. Um,
Oh my goodness. This
I, I,
again, Freddie. This
I,
again.
yeah, okay. I mean, I just, I didn't even need you to say thank you.
Oh my
I
God,
just
did I
needed
not
you.
say thank you enough? I didn't need to say thank you. I bought your food. I paid for your clothes. I took care of you. You didn't die out here, did you? You didn't die, right?
No, I didn't. That's it.
So you're
I
going to
wouldn't
shut
go
down on the
further.
conversation?
That's it. That's it. That's it.
All right. So now let's switch
That's it.
places. All right, let's switch places. I'm going to be
Because I've
you.
heard that. I've heard that. So it's like, yeah, that's it. You're right.
All right, let's switch places. Let's switch places. Okay? And so you're going to be your mother and then I'm going to be you. All right?
Okay. Okay.
All right. So we'll start on the count of 3. Okay?
Well, am I
1.
playing her as if I wanted what I would have needed or wanted, or if I'm playing her as if
You're
what
going
she
to
would
play
have
her
said?
as herself.
Okay.
All right. So 1, 2, 3. Hi, Mom.
Okay, Tom,
Mama?
what's up?
Okay. You know, I've been wanting to talk with you about something for some time, and I feel that when I try to have these conversations with you, that sometimes it's a little bit difficult, and I feel a little nervous about having the conversation with you because it doesn't often go well. And I want our relationship to get stronger, and I want to be able to have these conversations because life is not guaranteed to anybody, and anything can happen at any time. And I want us to I want us to be as close as I know that we could be. So is it possible that you can let me know if this is a good time for us to have a difficult conversation that I myself am a little bit nervous about bringing up? Is this a good time?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I growing up, there were some things that I experienced in our household that I interpreted as meaning that I was not loved. That when you would say things like, no one will love you the way that I do, I know that you meant it in the best possible way. However, the way that my child's mind interpreted it was that I was unlovable. And as a result of that, I have been struggling. And I need to I need to just let you
What do
know
you want
how
me
it
to do? What do you want me to do?
one of the
I love
things
you. You know I love you. What do you want me to do?
one of the things that
What do
I
you want
would
me to
like
do? I mean, you want me to say I'm sorry? I'm sorry. What else do you want?
well, one of the things that I would like is because I did ask you if this was a good time. Is this now still a good time for us to have the conversation?
It's fine, but I mean, okay, go ahead.
All right. So, like I said, I want us to have a good relationship. I want us to be able to put these things behind us. However, there's some feelings that I'm feeling that I have not been able to work through on my own. And as your child, and you say that you love me, and I love you too, your child is coming to you and telling you that she needs something right now. And mother,
Well,
I
I
would,
need things too. I need things too. I mean, I don't know. Just tell me what you need. Just tell me
okay,
what you need.
I need for you to listen to me and to hear me. I need for you to create a safe space for me to have this conversation with you. These are the things that I need. Do you feel that it's possible for us to have this conversation and you to be able to hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay. I interpreted these things as me not being lovable. And I've gone through my life holding on to these things and not really feeling as if I deserve love. And I know that you didn't mean it in that way. However, I would like for us to repair our relationship. I don't want another day to go by on this earth where our relationship's still in tatters. I love you, mama. Mom.
I love you too. I
Okay.
think at this point she will listen, but she won't say anything else.
And she'll just
I
be
know my
quiet.
mother. She will listen. She won't say anything else, and then she'll take it. She'll take and um. I have never. I have never said that I want a relationship to be repaired because I don't think I ever thought it needed to be repaired until you just said that. I never thought
Okay.
it needed to be repaired because it was what it was. We live very like this. It is what it is. And I think those are the I think that she knows it needs repair. I think she knows that's why she becomes so defensive.
Of course.
And I think I need to say that to her. I think I need to say because I think she knows. I didn't know.
Okay. So my question to you in this scenario, and when I was telling you, when I was in your place telling you as the mother what it is that I need, how did it make you feel to have to or to lash out in that way? What was going through your mind, your spirit, your body as you were lashing out? I'm talking about in the place of your mother, when you feel your mother's energy and have this conversation. What is it that you
Um,
feel is going on inside of your mother as you were playing her and you decided to lash out?
she is probably feeling like she is not being
No, no,
word.
no, no. I don't want you to tell me how she probably feels. I want you to tell me, playing your mother, what was the feeling that came over you when a person is coming to you to seek
Um,
some assistance and you lash out? You, yourself, Freddie, as your mother, what did that feel like inside of you to do that?
like I don't matter. If
Like
that
who?
makes
No,
any
no,
sense.
no. I'm talking about inside of your mother.
Oh, how she feels, how my
Yes,
mom
when
feels.
yes, how your mother feels
Oh,
as you were
anger,
playing her. Okay.
anger,
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 why? Anger, why?
because of feeling like un, not being not being grateful for the sacrifices that she
Okay.
made.
I'm talking about not guessing how your mother felt.
Oh,
I'm
I
talking
know that's
about
what it is.
when you played when
That's
you
what it is.
okay, when you played your
That it,
mother just now, when
yes.
you played your mother just now, what was the feeling that came over you when you decided to lash out? Not what you think she feels, but the feeling that you felt inside of you.
Oh, anger.
Okay.
That's what I felt. Yeah,
Anger, why?
just not wanting to hear, not
Not
wanting to
wanting to
listen, not
hear
wanting to know.
why. Not wanting to hear why.
I don't know.
Listen, you know because you just said the words. What did it make you feel like to say those words to a person who is coming to you seeking help? Somebody that you love. What was going on inside of you as you played your mother? What was that feeling?
All I could tell you is it was painful.
To lash out in that way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. When I played your mother and lashed out at you, I felt pain doing that as well. I felt pain. I felt shame. I felt a lack of esteem. I felt a need to be reassured that I am a good person because I don't feel that I am. That is what I felt as I lashed out at you. What were some of the other things that you felt as you lashed out at me coming to you asking for help?
Disconnected,
Mhm. What else?
disrespected,
Okay, what else?
and the same thing.
Okay. How possible is it that your mother is dealing with a complex set of things going on inside of her that have nothing to do with you because she's battling her own demons? How possible is that?
Oh my God. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And while you are feeling pain from her behavior, how possible is it that she is not even able to connect to how she is showing up in other people's lives because she's going through this torment on the inside from the lack of love and care and all of those things that she felt that she is operating maybe on autopilot or whatever it is that she has been doing and really afraid to
Survival.
really survive. That's a
Yes.
perfect word.
Yes.
Survival,
Mama,
operating in.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I
You
know
know,
that. And that's how she taught her kids. She taught her kids how to be survivors instead of living, truly living. We are all survivors. That's what we are.
okay. Okay. And so, you know what, there's so much more that we need to expound upon We have time constraints because we are live right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
however, I want us to address, see, there's so many different layers in the issue of you overgiving and self-harming while you're giving, right? There's so many different layers to it. I want to touch on just a piece, but we've run out of time. These were only supposed to be half-hour calls, and we've been on for over 40 minutes. So,
Yeah, give
how,
someone else a chance. When you do this again, I will call back in.
I don't plan on doing this again, actually. But you know what? You can contact me privately. You can contact me
Okay,
privately on my website, because
I
there's so
sure
much
will.
more that we need to delve into. And
Okay,
yeah, because but there's so many different layers that we first need to peel back. And this was 40 minutes, and we just got to the mother part, right? So listen, big hugs
yeah.
to you.
You too. Love you all. Thank you.
Before you go, I need to give you an assignment before you go.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
what is going to be your next step towards self-healing this week? What is something that you can do that you feel comfortable doing, that you are sure that you can do this week? One step towards self-healing.
Uh, I could start your book.
Oh, wonderful. Well, you know what? That's a great start right there. All right. So that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I will start.
And
Okay,
so you got the book already?
I got the book. Yeah,
Okay. Have you written in it yet?
I did the first one. And the second one, it was difficult when I read through and what it was asking me. It was difficult to write something positive about me. So
Okay. Well, you know
I
what?
will.
Listen,
I will.
you do that. Do your second page tonight, no matter how difficult it is. Listen, when I write in my book, I sometimes I still cry on the passages. Sometimes I still cry because, there's like seeing the magic around me and naming those things that are magical. It still makes me weep. So no, work through the discomfort and do your book, and then and contact me, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right. You
Thank
have
you
a great evening.
so much.
Everybody, give some love to the young lady, Freddie, Miss Freddie, that just called in. Send some love out to her, because being coached publicly is not easy. It's not easy, right? Okay, so we have Mary, who is up next. And then after that, we're going to take the person who contributed on PayPal, and then everybody else. Do not send any more, because I'm going to be refunding the rest of the people, because we don't have the time. I was just doing this as I felt that there were people who had a need, and so I came out to do this evening. So look, Freddie, this is all of the love that's here for you right now. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I am going to call Mary, and then Charnel and Christina, I'm going to be refunding you. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me do that right now. Oh, she's giving a donation for somebody who doesn't have. Christina was giving a donation. Charnel. Oh, Charnel is giving a donation too. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So you know what? Okay. So let me call Mary back. Let me call Mary right now, and then we're going to take the young lady who gave on PayPal. And then we will, let's see. How do we take care of the people who donated as well? So you know what? Let's take these first two callers first, and then we'll go from there. All right. So let me call Mary. All right.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later.
What? That's the number. All right, let me try calling again. You know what? I'll dial it again because in case I did something wrong. Let's see. Okay, let's see.
Hello.
Yes, hi, Mary. Mary?
Me.
Hello.
Hi, Tonya.
Hi. Okay, welcome. Welcome to the line.
Thank.
Yeah, so are you ready for your coaching session?
Yes, I am.
All right, Mary. So how old are you, Mary?
I'm 39.
All right, 39. Okay, wonderful. And what is the situation that you would like coaching on tonight?
So I'm kind of having a hard time moving forward. Um, Unfortunately, a few years ago, I experienced extreme trauma. 3 years ago, actually, or in 2017, it was
Mm-hmm.
my birthday weekend. I was out of town, and I was assaulted. And it took me a long time to reach out to get help,
Mm-hmm.
with what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, I kind of let my life fall apart.
Okay.
So last year, within the last year and a half or so, I got everything back on track, but it's still, like the ramifications, I'm still going through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it's proven to be very difficult to like rebuild relationships and, um, I don't know, I guess, not feel ashamed and embarrassed about how bad things got in
Mm-hmm.
my life. Um, and I guess I just want to know, is it any, or I need to figure out how to forgive myself and like not feel so exposed because it seems like everybody knows everything that happened and it's just hard.
How does everyone know?
Um,
Are you talking about the
so
assault or your life falling apart?
I'm sorry, say that again,
Are you
please.
talking about the assault or your life falling apart?
I'm talking about both, both, both.
Okay. Okay.
Um, it got back to my job. Well, I ended up losing my home, and so
Okay.
that stuff got back to my job, and people there just like started treating me so terribly, and
Mm.
um, it's like every friend I had in my personal life, like everybody stopped like communicating with me and dealing
Mm.
with me, and it's just like I don't want them people back in my life. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't feel safe or comfortable like trying to reach out to build friendships or relationships with people, and um I don't know, like I don't know how to change it because I want to feel safe all the time, and feeling
Mm-hmm.
safe for me is just being by myself. And I know, we weren't meant to be alone,
Yeah.
and people make you feel weird for wanting to be alone all the time.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's just mostly what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, assault is traumatizing. It is one of the most traumatizing things that can happen to a person to be intimately assaulted and have their choice taken away. That's devastating. Did you get therapy?
Yes, I did.
And
I should have got it sooner, but I ended up getting it, yeah. And so I've been like consistently
recently getting it like the last like probably a year and a half.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you know what? Congratulations on getting therapy. It's courageous, and it's an amazing thing to do to get your life back on track, and not everybody does it. And so I'm proud of you for taking those steps and taking your life into your hands and taking control of your life. So I'm proud of you for that. In terms of rebuilding now and reaching out to people and reconnecting friendships, why do you want to do that besides people saying that you're not supposed to be alone?
Um, I feel lonely. I do. Like
Okay.
I feel like I don't have anybody really that I can turn to or talk to when I'm going through something,
Mm-hmm.
besides like my therapist. And I also feel like I'm putting a lot on my daughter. Like I have a child and she's pretty much the only person I really talk to. I don't talk to her about like bad stuff, but like the only person I have conversations with.
Yeah.
And I don't want her to end up, she's starting to kind of exhibit like stuff that I don't like personally, and I feel like I'm causing it, even
What
though
do you mean? What is she exhibiting
she
that you
just
don't like?
like the same thing. Like she said that she doesn't, have any friends, and she don't know how to make
Oh,
friends and stuff
oh.
like that. And it's
How old
like
is
you're
she?
so young, like 11.
Your daughter is 11 and you're turning to her to vent to her?
No, not vent. We just, the only person I really have conversations with, period, about anything. We just
Oh,
talk about, like regular stuff. But it's still just like the only person that I can actually say I've had a conversation with, like, period. Like
okay.
seriously. Like I don't talk to anybody else.
Okay. So when you say that you have no friends, you mean that you have not one friend that remains from before the assault because all of those people stopped talking to you?
I have not one friend that remains since, yes, no, not one.
Okay. So I
I
know
didn't
I
have many to begin with, but
okay.
since it
So
happened, it was just like I don't know if maybe the spiral was too much for them to handle, and so it was just like they didn't want to associate with me anymore. Um, but no, I don't, not one.
so each one of them ended because they what was it that ended each of the friendships?
Um, One of them was there when it happened. We're in the same, we were on the same trip,
Oh
and
no.
we stopped talking. And then the ones that are here, I can't really say why. It just we just disconnect. It was probably, what, honestly, it was probably me. It started off being me, and then I guess they just said, well, whatever, like
Okay. When you
I
say that
don't
it was
want to be your
probably
friend
you, what
anymore.
do you mean?
Um, I started being distant and neurotic probably because I was drinking too much. Like, I started having like crazy episodes while I was drinking, and it's embarrassing. I know it's embarrassing. Like, I know that they were probably embarrassed and just didn't want to deal with me,
Oh,
you
I
know,
see. When you say
like
crazy
that.
episodes, what do you mean?
Say that again.
When you say crazy episodes, what do you mean?
Like crazy episodes. Shouting, screaming, crying, belligerent, just you know, drunk rage. The best way I can describe it.
Okay.
Drunk rage.
Okay, so you would go out to party with them and you would get intoxicated and then go into a drunk rage.
Yes.
Okay. And how many times did they continue to go out with you and hang out with you when you would go into these drunken rages?
Maybe like once or twice,
Okay, so
something
after
like
one or
that.
two times, they were like, you know what? I'm not dealing with Mary. Mary's a little too much.
Yes.
Okay. And what ended up happening with the drunken rages? Did you continue to go out with one person after another, getting into these drunken
Um,
rages?
no. I think it was more like a word of mouth thing. Like it
Oh, so
started
the
going
word started to
around.
spread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So this is what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that 3 years ago you were assaulted intimately. That's correct?
Yes.
And you had a friend that was on the trip with you. This was your birthday weekend. You were 36. You went to turn up and have a good time. And you ended up getting assaulted. You blame yourself. You're feeling feelings of shame and guilt for the assault itself. And the friend that was there with you on the trip stopped speaking to you after the trip. And you started behaving in a manner where you would go out drinking and then you would rage out at the people that you went out with, or you would rage out at strangers.
I will rage out both. Be
Okay,
both.
so you would rage out at strangers, rage out at your friends. You would try to get into fights with people and things like that.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And then so one by one, your friends stopped speaking to you. They stopped coming around. They stopped really hanging out with you. And before you know it, other people started to spread the word to other friends, and they were like, "We got to stay with. Listen, don't go out with Mary, otherwise it's going to be a problem, right?"
Yeah.
And then you ended up losing your house. When you lost your house, the people at your job found out that you had become homeless, and then they started treating you terribly as a result of you going into this space in life. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? Listen, let me first start out by saying that your assault was not your fault. Okay? That was not your fault. And I know that you've been in therapy. How long have you been in therapy now?
Like a year and a half.
Okay. So a year and a half. So that means that about a year and a half after the assault, you decided to go to therapy, and that you've been in
Yes.
therapy now for about a year and a half. Okay, wonderful. And so I'm sure that you've already gone over how it was not your fault, and ways to repair psychologically and emotionally from that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And so,
Like I feel better now. It's just,
yeah, listen,
it's
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 understandable.
the themes that I'm going, like I said, like the ramifications of
Yeah.
my life. The picture of my life.
Yeah.
It's not getting better. It's that's a lie. It's getting better, but it's not. I guess that's the thing. It's not where I want it to be. Like I always want things to be how they were before, like or
Okay.
better.
How
And
were they
it's
before
nothing's
that you want to
working.
get back to? What is it that you're trying to get back?
I owned a home. I had money in the bank. Um, I felt like I was valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel like nobody wants to date me now. And
Mm.
I was a lot thinner, and
Mm.
I took way better care of myself.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
just
So now you don't own a home anymore.
no,
Okay. So you're like renting an apartment or something like that?
yes, yes,
Okay. Okay. And so a lot of the things have changed since before your assault and then after, because you went into a pattern of self-destructive behavior that ended up making you gain weight, losing your home, losing your friends, etc. So that you went through the initial assault, and then you also, went through a
assaulted
set of
myself.
actions that also, right, 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 right. No, listen,
Yeah.
listen. It's completely understandable. Anybody that had gone through what it is that you went through with your exact background and genetic makeup would have done the exact same thing as you. Anybody. And so you were doing the very best that you could at the time and dealing with that trauma and being able to come to grips with it, trying to get onto the other side of it, uh, wanting to emote, lash out, take control. A lot of the things that you did were what anybody in your situation with your exact background and genetic makeup would have done. Anybody would have done the same thing. And so now we are at the point where we want to now repair our lives and put things back on track. Home ownership, thriving friendships. Are you interested in also maybe dropping off some of the weight that you put on, or are you good at the weight that you are now?
I want to lose weight.
Okay, all right.
I do.
So the question is, how do we get started? What is it that we need to do to start getting your life on track? What are some of the things that you feel that you need to do? So what is the very first thing that you want to do?
I think that's part of the problem too. Like, I don't know, besides just making it day to day,
Mm-hmm.
besides making sure that the things, the immediate things are handled. I don't know what else to do outside of that. Like,
Okay.
I've been trying, like, I've been saying I don't want to work at my job anymore. I want to quit. And I want to find something I can do for myself to make money. But I don't have any skills or talent. Like, I went to college for nothing. Like, it was dumb. And it's like, I don't know any, like, how to make money on my own to
What
find a
was
way to be financially free
what was your
and
major in college
work for
that you said you
myself.
went there for nothing?
Psychology, but I only got a bachelor's degree. You gotta have a master's degree or a PhD to really make it with that kind of degree. And it's just, it was more of like a I did it type of thing than going for, like, I didn't put enough thought into that. I don't even want to talk about that, but it's just that doesn't help me. And like, I never was interested in anything when I was younger that have a skill in just to make money. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do in that area.
Okay. All right. So, why do you feel that now is the right time for you to start trying to do anything more than just surviving day to day? What makes you feel that now is the right time?
Because I deserve more. Like, my
Mm-hmm.
child deserves more. I want more. Like, I see more for myself, and it's frustrating waking up and not living what I see. Like, it's 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 a burden. Like, feeling like I should be far further and not knowing how to get there, not knowing what to do. It's like,
What is it that makes you feel that you should be further?
um, I don't know. It's just a feeling. Just a feeling.
Okay. And further where? So you were a place before, and now you're a different person. You have a new life, a different life. And it sounds like you want to go back to the way that things were before instead of crafting out what today looks like.
I don't really think about it like that. Okay. Okay. You're right. I don't want what I had before. I want better. I want something better. Like, I think everybody deserves to have the level of happiness in their life that they envision for themselves. And the level of happiness that I envision, I see it and I don't see the steps to get to it. So it's like, am I a
Okay.
fraud or am I dreaming too big, or, like, I don't
Okay.
know what to think.
Well, happiness is a feeling that is available for you to feel at any time. What does feeling happy feel like to you?
Um, um,
Hmm? What does it feel
feeling
like to
happy,
feel happy? Hmm.
feeling happy feels stress free. It feels fulfilled. It feels um, safe. It
Hmm.
feels um, loved. It feels
Hmm.
purposeful. It feels a lot of things. It feels like vacation. It feels like a
Okay.
lot of things. Like, happiness feels like a lot of things.
Okay. So happiness feels like being safe, loved, being free, purposeful, going on vacation. So, what are the things that exist right now that are stopping you from feeling those feelings right now? Feeling the feeling of safety, feeling the feeling of love.
Me, just me. I think it's just me. It must be
Okay.
just me.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think is stopping you from feeling that now? What's getting in the way? What comes up
Not
when
feeling
you
like
want to feel those feelings?
I don't have enough, like not having enough to 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 quit my job and find a passion or purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How much money do
feel
you
I
think you would need to have in the bank to feel the feeling that you're looking for? How much money do you think it will? Give me a number.
I don't know. I don't think it's a certain number. I think it's just being able to not feel vulnerable. Um, like
Okay.
when all the stuff happened with the world and it shut down, and that initial feeling of vulnerableness, it was just like it was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. Um, and just knowing or like wondering, okay, like am I about to get fired? This stupid job about to about to shut down and I'm gonna be, destitute, like people online saying they are, like stuff
Okay.
like that. Like I don't wanna feel like I need to rely on somebody else to
Okay.
to to survive.
Okay. So when the pandemic first hit and everything was on shutdown, you felt a feeling of vulnerability, economic vulnerability?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you were like, you didn't know whether or not you were going to be one of the people that would lose your job and not be able to make the money that you need to keep ends meeting. And what was it that allayed your fears? What was it that stopped you from feeling like you were going to succumb?
It didn't happen. Like we didn't have, I like nothing happened. Like everything continued as normal at my job.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. And and if you did lose your job, what would have been the outcome of that? What would have happened? The worst case scenario.
I don't even want to think about it. I'd have been back where I was.
Okay.
It would have been the exact same place I was after I let stuff fall apart after my assault. Like it would have been the exact same thing all over again. And then I
Okay.
probably would have started drinking again. Then, you know, everything just would have been the same.
Okay. All right. So one of the fears that you had was that if things had gone back that route, that you would have reverted and gone back towards the self-destructive path that you were on before.
Yes.
And it didn't. So now you have your job, but you still don't feel safe and secure. Talk to me about that.
Um, it's not that I don't feel safe at my job or secure. I just don't enjoy it. Like I feel like, um, and maybe it's because of the stigma that I feel people attach to me now. It's hard going in there and dealing with the stares and dealing with
Yeah.
the isolation, dealing with um and it might all be in my mind, who knows, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't seem like it is, and it's a lot. Like I'm a
Okay. So
extremely
what do you think they're
sensitive
staring
person,
at you?
unfortunately.
What do you think they're staring at you about?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, but I know it happens, and I know it's like unnerving. Like, I don't. It's so uncomfortable, and it's just weird to me. Like that anybody would just treat somebody like that because of something they went through. Like I would never be
So
like
how
that
were
kind of person.
people, yeah, so how were people treating you before you went through that versus how they're treating you now? What are the concrete things that they're doing differently?
Okay, before people would just have regular conversations with me, or come up to me, or ask me how my day was, or ask me if I wanted lunch, stuff like that. And then
Okay.
now it's just like radio silence. Like I don't have anybody that I even communicate with at work outside of work. Like, we talk about what I need to do for the
Right.
job,
Okay.
for the shift.
Okay. Were any of the people at work some of the people that you went out drinking with?
No, no,
Okay.
no.
Okay, so these were not any of the people that you raged out at.
No,
So
I
you
would
so,
understand then. Then it would make sense. Then that would make
so
sense. Total sense.
so you're
Then I would
saying
work to
that
repair it. Huh?
so you're saying that they found out that so you're saying that you feel that they found out that you were living in did you go to a homeless shelter? Did you go to women in family? Did you sleep on people's couches? What was the situation that existed?
I was I ended up going through like a transitional housing program.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I started going to like meetings for recovering people recovering from substance abuse or alcoholism, stuff
Okay.
like that.
So which one of those do you think got back to the people at your job? And how do you know
It
that it
was the
got back to
meetings.
them?
I know it was the meetings. It was the meeting. Somebody took a picture of me at one of the meetings, and that's how it ended up getting back.
Hold on. So
And
somebody who was at the meeting was
at the
snapping
meeting,
photos of
yes,
you.
that was.
So
Mhm.
hold on. So you're saying that another person who was recovering,
Mhm.
a person recovering from substance abuse, they themselves took a picture of you and then brought it back to work.
Mhm.
How do you know that this took place?
Okay, I don't want you to laugh at me because I'm gonna tell you the honest truth,
Oh my
and you might
goodness.
not believe it, but
Okay. What is the
I
honest
asked the
truth?
spirit, like I asked my guys, I asked inwardly,
Okay.
like, how could this have happened? And every time it was just like the same thing kept coming up, kept coming up, kept coming up. And then I had a conversation with somebody, and they kind of mentioned something about um, the clothes that I was wearing. It was like, why are you talking about my clothes? Like, why is this even, like, what is this? And that's why I was like, this must be what it was. Like, this has to be what it is.
So you
Can't
so
tell
you
me
don't
nothing
so you
else.
don't have you don't have verifiable
I don't
proof.
have concrete proof. No, I don't have concrete
Okay,
proof.
so the
No, I
person
don't.
that you saw at the meeting, did you ever try to have a conversation with that person? I mean, you
No.
two were both at the
Mm-mm.
same meeting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this person also has some substance issues at the time. And what do you think it would have been like if you had a conversation with this person and even just tried to, create some sort of connection, having a conversation with a person that is also going through an issue that you're also going through? What would that have been like?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't have an answer for that. I don't know.
Okay. All right. All right. So, my question to you then is what is what is it that you feel that people are saying that would make them then not want to talk to you? What do you think it is that's going through their mind about this terrible, terrible time that you had in your life?
Um, what a pathetic person. How could you go let something like that happen to you? Like,
Okay.
something like that.
So you feel that they're saying this, right? Now, have you ever known somebody who was assaulted besides
Yes.
yourself, outside of you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And how did you feel about the person that was assaulted? Did you have
She was my
animosity towards
friend.
them?
Oh no, She was my friend. Like I felt angry at the person that did it. I was sad that it happened to her.
Okay.
It was terrible because it changed her. Like
Okay.
immediately, it changed her.
Okay. So let me ask you this
But it
question.
changed her for the wrong reason because she reached out. She immediately reported it, and she got treated like it was her fault. Like she got treated like
Right.
it was her. It just like
Yeah,
she was
we live
lying.
we live in an
He's not the kind of
RAPE
person.
culture. We live in a
Yeah.
culture that blames women. But my focus is on you as a human being, knowing a person who was assaulted and their life changing for the worse as a result. The feeling that you had was anger in advocacy for her. The feeling that you had was in being angry that this happened to her, being angry at the injustice. That was the feeling that you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that you went through an assault And people who are witnessing, who have witnessed the fallout from that assault, that you feel that these people feel that you're pathetic for dealing with a traumatic event in the ways that you could only deal with it. So you feel that the people feel that you're pathetic. What does that say about the type of person that would feel that a person who was assaulted and going through emotional trauma is all of these names that you said that people may be calling you? What does that say about that type of person that would feel that way about a victim?
I just said they're a terrible person. They're terrible people. Like,
Okay. All
unworthy
right.
of care, that, of their opinions.
Okay. Any person that would have ire or animus towards the victim of assault. And listen, no two people deal with assault in the same way. No two people deal with it in the same way. And everybody has their process. Your process was, turning to substances and self-abusing and raging out and participating in life in that way, losing your home and going through that journey. But that journey is your journey. Do you think that you're pathetic? Do you think that you're pathetic?
No.
Okay. What do you think about yourself for having gone through this journey?
Um. I
You're
think
thinking about it.
I'm.
Talk to me.
I think I'm stronger now. I think
Okay.
that I'm better able to. I don't know.
Talk to me.
Handle
Mm-hmm.
handle like stressful situations
Okay.
because I've been equipped with the tools to do it.
Okay.
I feel like now maybe I can help other people
Okay.
who women that went through it, like, at least be a listening ear. If,
Okay.
I met somebody like that, I don't know. I think that's,
Okay. So let me hear you say, I am stronger.
I am stronger. I'm stronger.
Okay. Let me hear you say, I am more equipped.
I'm more equipped.
I can help people.
I can help people.
Okay. How does that feel to say those words out loud?
It feels good.
Okay.
Refreshing.
Okay. So say it again.
I'm strong. I'm equipped. I can help.
Okay. Say it with more conviction. Let me feel it when you say it.
I am strong. I am equipped. I can help.
Okay. And so you went through a traumatic thing. You went through a traumatic thing. And you dealt with it in the best way that you knew how. And so now is the time to release any feeling that you have about how you dealt with it, because that is how you dealt with it. You know how we talk about wanting unconditional love because we're taught to to want a love that is unconditional. Is your love for yourself unconditional?
My love for myself. Yes, it's unconditional. It is.
Okay. Your love for yourself is unconditional. There are no conditions on it. So it's time
Yes.
that you forgave yourself, that you held on to no feelings from holding on to however it is that you decided to deal with that trauma, and to be the friend for yourself that you would want to be for someone else. to be that unconditional ride or die in this life with you. And the same way that these friendships fell off because, you were raging out and they just really weren't able to understand, etc. What can you do to repair the friendship that you have with yourself?
I can keep going to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I can treat myself better.
Mm-hmm.
I can forgive myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot be so hard on myself.
Okay,
I shouldn't
absolutely.
be so hard on myself.
All right, so let's start there. We want to be able to branch out and have friendships with other people. However, let's start with the friendship that you have with yourself. Okay? Let's start with that. And what is the first thing that you are going to do as this new friend showing up in your life with yourself? What is the first thing that you're going to do, friend, for yourself?
I'm going to treat myself better.
Okay, in what way?
Better.
Give me something concrete that you're going to do to treat yourself better.
I'm going to start back working out.
Oh, okay. That sounds fun. All right. So what is a way that you are going to make sure that you stay on target in terms of working out?
Oof. I don't know. I'm going to.
Is there a way that you can get a personal trainer or an accountability partner?
I'll have to get a personal. I can get a personal trainer. I don't think I could get I don't have any friends, Tonya. I don't have anybody to be my accountability partner.
There are ways that you can get accountability partners without friends, and then also you saying that you don't have friends is an affirmation, and it is an affirmation of the reality. You know, you you can say something different instead of saying I don't have any friends. What is a different way that you can put it?
I haven't made any new friends yet.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
You attract healthy relationships with ease. You are a magnetic person and people love you. People love being around you. You don't have my book, do you?
I do. Of course I do. Yes. I'll be honest, though.
Go grab your book now, my dear. Go grab it.
Okay. Look.
Go grab it.
I don't mind the test. I got my book.
Okay, wonderful, because we're going to go to a page right now in the book, right? Is your book written in?
Which page? I'm sorry, say that again?
Is your book written in?
The writing you put in it.
Did you yourself
I don't want to write in. It's too pretty. It was too pretty to write in.
So that's going to be one of the first steps that you take right now. You're going to write in this book right now while we're on the phone.
Okay.
And I want you to take a screenshot of your writing and send it to me.
Okay. I got to get a pen.
All right. So there's a page with some beautiful a teddy bear and a little piglet teddy bear hugging one another. What does it say on that page? It
says, I am worthy of love and affection.
Okay. I want you to write that one out first. Write that out right now, and I want you to take a picture and send it to me. And I want you to really feel it inside of you as you write out those words. What does it mean to be worthy of love and affection? What does that mean? What does that feel like?
I don't know. Worthy. Being worthy. I don't have the words for that. I don't know what it feels like to be worthy. I mean,
I want you to breathe in deep. Breathe in. And exhale. And I want you to say the words out loud. And I want you to feel that in your being.
I am worthy of love and affection.
What does that feel like?
It felt soothing. I did.
Okay. What does a person who is worthy of love and affection, what does that person, what is their, how does their energy feel, a person who is worthy of love and affection?
Calm and confident and like sure of themselves.
Okay. You know, I'm going to need you to write in this book. I'm going to need you to write in it. So send me that picture. Did you just finish writing the sentence right now?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to take a picture of it and I want you to send it to me.
Oh, right now. Okay.
You
I
can
left
text
my
it to
phone.
me right on this number. So, all right. So listen, in terms of attracting new friendships, you first have to be a good friend to yourself. And the first step that you're going to take is being a better friend to yourself, starting the journey towards working out. You can get an accountability partner online somewhere. There are Facebook groups that are filled with them. So you
Okay.
don't have to have other people who are in your vicinity to hold you accountable. There are ways to meet people online.
Okay.
However, first things first is being a good friend to yourself. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm waiting for this picture.
I sent it.
I'm looking. Hold on. Ah, wonderful. Let me. This is beautiful. Beautiful. I let me see if I can. Let's see if we can do a little screen share. Let's see. I don't know.
Oh, they
I don't
gonna
know.
judge my handwriting. Oh.
No one is going to judge your handwriting. I think it's beautiful, but I don't know how much of the, you know what, give me 1 second. Let me put, because I want to make sure that we maintain your privacy. Um, all right, there we go. I see it now. All right. So let's get this here, and here we go. So this is her, whatchamacallit. Isn't that beautiful? Give her a round of applause, you all. Give her a round of applause. You did it. That is beautiful, and we are proud of you. I think that's an important step. It's an important step to know that you are worth writing in your book. This is your tool, and it's a powerful tool. You just have to use it. And that's one of the first steps, okay? So,
Okay.
write inside your book, be a better friend to yourself. Find a way to get an accountability partner and to hold you accountable for working out. I think that this is beautiful, and I'm happy that you wrote in your book for the first time. And I want you to find 2 other pages to write in before you go to sleep tonight. So as you're getting ready to go to sleep, half an hour before you drift off, write inside your book. It's going to make a tremendous difference in your life. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and each one of these affirmations were written in such a way to be able to enact change in your life. Do these and things will begin to change for you. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. And then from there, you will branch out. And once you start being a better friend to yourself, once you start loving yourself in that unconditional way, things will start unfolding around you. You believe that, right?
Yes. I did.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Mary. You did good. You did good. Was this easy for you to do? Was it difficult? How was it?
This was difficult. I was gonna send you a message and say never mind. I really was, but I'm glad I
When?
didn't.
When were you going to send me a message and say never mind?
Because I was afraid. Like, I didn't want to get on here and then look at the comments and see people calling or talking negatively about me, or your personality is so strong, and I didn't want to cry. I thought a lot of things after I sent the money. I'm like, I'm gonna just be like, give it to somebody else because I changed my mind. But I'm glad I didn't.
Well, I'm glad that you stuck with it too. So thank you so much. Thank you. And we want to hear
Thank you,
follow up
Tanya.
from you to find out how things are going and continue with your therapy. And I think that it's a good idea to work with a coach because a coach is definitely someone who can help you accomplish the goals that you have in mind. Okay? So you have your assignment.
Okay.
What's your assignment
Yes.
for this week?
I'm gonna write in my book every
Mhm.
day.
Yes.
I am going to treat myself better. Since I said I want
Mhm.
to work out, I'm going to start back working out, get an accountability partner if I can, and just love myself more. Show more love
Okay.
towards myself.
Beautiful. And these are intentions that you have set, and working with a coach can help you stay on target for those as well as work with you through your challenges. But you have a therapist. So I know therapy is a little different than coaching because a therapist, goes backwards and the coach is the one that goes forward with you. However, you can talk with your therapist about where it is that you are and what it is that you're doing. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Kanye.
Thank you so much for calling in. All right. All right. Listen, you know what? I want us to give a special shout out to the mods that we have in the house because the mods have been doing God's work here today. So I want you all to give some I want you all to give some snaps, some stars, some claps for the mods because the mods have been doing a tremendous job because there's so many people that come in trolling because they're in a space in their own lives where they can't I don't know, you know but I appreciate you all. So Buddha Fly, thank you. Tanya Walker, thank you all. You are the hey, you are the MVPs. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for holding it down. Thank you. Thank you. So we have one more call who we are. Yay! Thank you. I love the stars. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have amazing mods on here that allow people to express difference of opinions but stop people from trolling. So that was amazing. And especially when we're holding space for people like we are tonight, that's so important. So I'm going to go over to PayPal, right? I'm going to go over to PayPal and get the information for that young lady. Um, And give me 1 second. I just need to log in. What's going on here with people with... I'm going to look away. I'm not even going to look at the screen right now. Because some of these names that we have out here, I don't know what's going on. Go ahead and put up those stars for our moderators. Thank you all so much. All right. So it looks like... Oh, wow. Look at this. Okay. So we got Mia. Let's see. Mia who has sent the Cash App, but I don't see your phone number, Mia. Mia. Mia, they have a note section that you can write down your oh my goodness. Let me check my email and see whether or not we got... Mia, where are you? Mia. Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia. All right, let's see. You're gonna love me. Yeah. I'm going into my email right now to see if no. She did not leave a note with this. Wait, she didn't leave a note. Mia, I need you to text me your phone number. Otherwise, we can't get in touch. So Abundant is saying that people can say rubber phallus, but they cannot say, listen, I don't know what's going on these YouTube streets. YouTube is an interesting place, I'll tell you that much. All right. And so Jennifer sent me a message saying that a moderator blocked her for no reason. So she sent me a Cashapp saying a moderator blocked her. Jennifer. All right. Well, listen, I don't know what to say. I don't know what you were doing in the comments. So, Mia, Mama Mia, Mama Mia. All right. So, what are you all thinking of the broadcast so far? Are you all, what is it that this experience is like for you all in the, wait, there's somebody that needs a block party? Oh my goodness. Why can't people behave? Let me get my chat back up on the screen. Okay, let's see. What's going on? Let's see. I'm looking for his comment right now. James says, how old are you, Tonya? You have a very dusty appearance. How old are you, Tonya? That person is so silly. I can't even be angry. I just think it's silly. This is, the phone number is not up there on the screen. Mia, I need you to text me 323-488-3149. Text me with your number because the phone lines are closed. So I need you to send me a text so I can call you back. So I'll put the number up here. So send a text to that number right there. Is James trolling? I don't know. His comments seem so foolish to me. I don't know. I thought his comment was funny. I'm sorry. Maybe I just have a twisted sense of humor. You know, you all say I laugh at inappropriate things. So maybe that's one of the inappropriate things I laugh at. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, my Lord, how funny. Oh, Kitten Heels is talking about your girl. Cause you know me does say, you know me does say, me does get under them skin. Me like a bamboo pan the fingernail. Me does get under them skin. Oh, goodness. Oh, my gracious. How cute. All right, I'll go ahead and block James for you all. Fine. I just am not offended by what he's saying, but if you all are so troubled by him, let me see another comment from him. All right, let's see what his next comment is. If his next comment, because I thought his first comment, he said I look dusty. Dust them shoulders at me because the dust be getting too much dust be getting on me. You all are taking away from Mia's time. Ay, mirasol. Hey, how funny. Black says she got him. Listen, give a round of applause for the moderators. Listen, they I guess they're more strict than I am because I thought the comment was funny. Mia, where you there, gal? Mia, I don't see your comment. I mean, your text. Oh gosh, here, let's get here. Is that so now, girl? Oh, is it so? Here we go. Hey! Too cute. Okay, so Mia has texted in. Let's call Mia back. Mia is courageous. All right, let me get these comments off of the screen. You know what? Now let me get Mia up on the phone first, and then we'll get the comments up on the screen. Let me take the phone number off. I'll leave the phone number there. All right, let me call Mia. Mama Mia, Mama Mia. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh gosh, how funny. How funny.
Hello.
Mia, you listening to me in the background. I sound crazy on your screen. All right. So Mia, I need you to turn it down in the background, whatever it is that you're listening on. All right, perfect.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. Oh wait, are you Caribbean?
I'm Dominican.
Oh, well, the Dominican is in the Caribbean,
Yes.
Dominican Republic, Dominicana.
Oh, see.
All right, wonderful. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So Mia.
Thank you.
All right, let me get the comments off of the screen so that we can be able to concentrate on what we are doing here today. All right, so that there's no
Okay.
distraction whatsoever. All right, so let's talk. So Mia, talk to me. What's happening?
Okay, so I have been in a 5-year relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of like at a point where I need to make a decision because I want to move forward,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, throughout at least the last 3 years, there's been like supposed to be goals, and there's always something else that needs to be taken care of and something else.
I'm
Last
confused.
year, he
You said
was
he's
supposed
supposed to be.
to,
You
huh?
said he was. You said he was supposed to be closed.
No, goals.
What does that mean? Gold?
Goals, like things that he wanted to
Oh,
achieve
goals.
before.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Can you hear
No,
me
no, no. It's quite all
clearly?
right. I let me adjust my earbud then. Okay, let's take a listen. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay. So yes, um, it's been like about 2 or 3 years that I've been heavily, asking and kind of like vetting to see what's gonna be the next step.
Okay.
And yes, he's never like stopped communicating with me. He's very consistent with the communication. I don't know what to do because it's kind of like he takes care of me, but he's scared of having like the responsibility of a family.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 39.
All right, so you're 39. You've been dating him, you said, for 3 years.
5.
5 years. Okay, so you've been dating him since you were 34. So you've been dating for 5 years,
Yes.
and you said that he was supposed to or says that he's going to create these goals each year, and that it seems to you that he doesn't want the responsibility of a family.
Yes.
Okay, so what type of goals is he saying that he's supposed to be setting each year?
Okay. For example, like first it was his credit. He wanted to get his credit, which is understandable,
Okay.
up to par, which he did. He paid off all his debt, and that's really good. Then it was making sure that he had enough money to like buy a home and all of that. He
Okay.
got the money. Then last year he was supposed to buy a house. I mean, and then all of this happened within the midst of everything with the pandemic and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. So it's kind of like that's where I'm like stuck because I understand that there's a lot of things going on, but I've seen people that have done it. You know, they've
Mm-hmm.
gone and gotten married and everything. So I'm just like I'm stuck. Like I'm tired of being stagnant. You know,
Yeah.
we've been doing this for a long time, and it's kind of
Do you two
like
have children together?
no, no, we don't. I
Okay.
actually had a miscarriage in 2020,
Okay.
and yeah,
Do you
from
want to have a family with him?
okay, so I do. I did a lot more before,
Mm-hmm.
but since all of this has happened, where it's kind of like it keeps moving, like the date just keeps moving
Okay.
forward.
Has he asked you to marry him?
And no, not ask me to marry him, no. But
Okay.
he has. See, that's the thing. Like he hasn't actually done it, but he supposedly has these plans, and he does take care of me. Like in the sense when I need something, he is there for me. And, so that's
Okay.
what tears me up. I'm like, I don't know
All right.
if
So
it's
you know what?
something
Let's
that
flesh this. Let's flesh the whole thing out, okay? Let's flesh it all out. Let's start. One, what is it that makes you feel that he is the man that's for you to be your husband?
what is it that makes me feel that he's the man that's for me
Mm-hmm.
to be my husband?
Yeah.
Well, he's very, from what I can tell in his own life, he's very responsible.
Mm-hmm.
He's very consistent. He makes things happen,
Mm-hmm.
and I love him. Like I do love him.
Okay. Why do you feel that he is the one?
I don't know how to explain that. It's kind of like okay, for example, I've like, separate, like broke up with him, and he he doesn't take that for like, okay, no. He consistently just calls me. He's, just like nothing happened. And when that happens, I don't feel like bothered. You know what I mean? Like
You don't feel
if it was
bothered by
somebody
what? By him calling you all the time?
by him consistently, yeah, calling me, and I don't feel bothered by that. Like I feel like we have a connection. We do because we can talk for hours. We can talk about pretty much anything.
Okay.
And
How old is he?
he's 42.
He's 42.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he's grown a grown man. He's grown.
He is
What's his nationality? Is he American? Is he Dominican?
Jamaican.
He's Dominican here in America?
No, Jamaican.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said he's Jamaican?
Yes,
So he's black?
yes, he is.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh! Like this is gonna turn. It's gonna be
No.
completely different. I
No,
know
no. If
because
listen, if he was Hispanic, right?
uh-huh,
There's
it would be
a
different. It would be
right, there's
different.
a greater culture of the family
Yeah.
pushing for marriage and all of that. With him being Jamaican and also black, and he's here in America. Was he born in Jamaica?
Yes, he's been here since he was young. Like I like he came when he
Okay.
was in his teens.
Okay. All right. So you love him, he loves you. It's apparent in the way that he treats you that he values the relationship, correct?
I understand that, yes.
Okay. So it's been 5 years and he's 42. So that's 42, 41, 40, 39. 38. So you all started dating when he was 38 and you were 34. I hope I did the numbers right. Okay.
Yeah, you know.
And so when you two talk about marriage, what does he say?
Well, the last time, because I kind of like got upset and I completely started ignoring him for like, this only lasted like, I think 4 or 5 days. And
Okay.
he kept calling me, texting me, like he was having a conversation on his own by himself in the, in the text, because I was like, if it's not gonna go in the direction, that's what I'm expecting, then what's the point? Well, he showed up at my house. I didn't answer. Then he basically, we had a conversation after that, like days after that. And I was like, well, because he basically changed. He was like, yes, we will be married. And I asked him what changed. And basically he said that before he wasn't, he thinks he was just thinking about taking care of himself. And now he's like thinking about taking care of me.
Okay.
And
When
yeah,
was this? When was this that you took the
the
5 day
this
break?
conversation, it
Mm-hmm.
was like about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. So you said that you had a miscarriage in 2020. Which
Mhm.
month? Which month in 2020 did you have the miscarriage?
Let me see. It was in March.
So 3/2020. How far along were you?
I was about 3 months.
So you became pregnant around December, January, and you
Mhm.
were about 3 months pregnant when you had a miscarriage. When you became pregnant, how soon after did you tell him about the pregnancy?
Um, I think like the the same the same day, maybe the morning after that.
Okay. And how far
Yeah,
along were you when you told him you were pregnant?
I was about a month, like maybe 6 weeks.
Okay.
Mhm.
And when you told him you were pregnant, did he begin to talk about marriage then?
No,
Okay. So he knew that you were carrying his child. Do you two live together?
no.
Okay. He lives someplace else. How far does he live from you?
About 40 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Um, was his father in his life?
Yeah,
His parents are married?
no,
So his father was in his life, but his parents never married.
right.
Okay. All right. Um, my question for you is, when was the first time that you two spoke about marriage?
I mean, we spoke about marriage. Um, I think within the first 6 months, not necessarily about we're gonna get married, but we spoke about having a family. We spoke about children
Okay.
um, in the very beginning of the relationship,
And then
and yeah,
what changed?
what changed?
Yeah. So within 6 months, you two were talking about marriage. You were talking about, children and family. That was within the first six
Yeah, he
months.
did. He told me he was gonna make me an honest woman and everything.
Okay. What changed?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
There was a
I'm
shift
trying
that
to think, like,
happened.
when you ask.
So we're
Huh?
talking about 4.5 years ago. 4.5. So you met 5 years ago. 6 months in, you two are talking about marriage. He's gonna make an honest woman out of you. Talking about family, being together, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when did you all stop talking about marriage?
Well, it's not a thing that we stopped talking about it. It was more like I wasn't pressuring it because I didn't like. I guess because I wasn't like my age now, and I was just like, okay, it's gonna happen. I wasn't
Right.
pressuring it. So
Okay.
time just went by, and it was never that we spoke negatively about it. It was just like, and then I noticed how time was just passing by, and I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do? And
Mm-hmm.
that's when I started, like maybe 2 years into it. I was like, okay, so what's the next, like what's the next step? And then we had conversations, and it would be like, okay, so I'm gonna do this, and then he'll get that done, and then okay, so I need to do this, and so it's kind of like been that type of
Okay.
situation.
Let me ask you this question. Who is his favorite female star or pop star or actress? Who's his favorite female um, celebrity?
Hmm. He's mentioned that he really likes the group. I mean, it's an old school group. SW.
Oh, SWV. Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So if one of the women from SWV was dating him and she said, "Oh, I want to get married or I'm leaving," do you think that he would marry her?
Mm,
Do you think if he had a chance with the woman from SWV and she was like, "I want to get married," do you think he would jump at the chance?
probably, yeah.
All
I
right.
mean,
So you feel that he probably would. So there's an issue here. There's an issue.
yeah,
Because if he
there
was
is a.
dating Michelle from SWV and she was in there and was like, "I want to get married," you feel that he would jump at the chance. So let's talk about what is going awry right here. So
Mhm,
you've been in this relationship with him for 5 years. You love him, he loves you. He he knows that you want to get married, but he continues to say, "Oh, I need to get my credit together. Oh, I need to do this. I need to get enough money for a house." And he has hit all of those milestones. Meanwhile, year after year, you're in this relationship growing further and further in love, and the question doesn't come up. He's not
mhm.
asking, and you're getting
Yeah.
older. You got pregnant. He didn't ask when you got pregnant. What
Mhm.
was it? What was the conversation like after you'd become impregnated?
Well, he was stressed. He was stressed. He wasn't like, he was excited, but he was stressed. Like, you can tell.
Stressed about
It was kind
what?
of like,
What was he
huh?
stressed about? What was he stressed about?
His thing he's always saying is kind of like, he says, "Oh, I'm a realist," and he thinks about all the money that's gonna go into doing anything and what he's gonna have to provide and all of that.
Okay.
So he
So,
overthinks the money situation.
so you said that he was stressed when you brought up, well, when you were pregnant and he found out that you were pregnant, that he became stressed because of financial reasons. He's 42. You said that he
Mhm.
saved up enough
Mhm.
money to buy a house. He didn't buy the house. He still has the money. You became pregnant and then he was stressed. Let me ask you this question. How willing are you to stay with him without marriage?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm like, the thing is, I just feel, if it was like when I first met him, I probably would have been like, yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. But now, people change. I just
Mm-hmm.
feel like I want that stability.
Okay, you want the stability of marriage.
Yes.
What are the things that you feel that you will get from marriage that you're not getting now?
Well, maybe it's what you said before, like the Spanish, especially Dominicans,
Mm-hmm.
they really value family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really
Yes.
value my family,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to have a family. If anything, that's what I want. If I'm gonna be with someone, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want it to, if I have, let's say, for example, if I was to get pregnant, I don't want to be a single mother, you know?
Okay.
And, you know, I know that he's responsible enough to the point where he will do what he has to do. And, you know, I think that maybe he, because I know I watch your show a lot, and I don't know if he watches your show, but I do. And I watch Cynthia's show, and that's another reason why I've been thinking, like, maybe I should just, you know, let it go because of the situation with Black men. Because he
Okay.
does talk about marriage in that way.
Okay. He talks about marriage in what way?
And, like, he doesn't think that it's fair. He doesn't think that it's fair the way that men get treated. And he doesn't think that, you know, he doesn't think that it's fair what he sees happening to most men when they get divorced.
What does he see happening to men?
Well, basically he's been like, I guess he sees that the woman gets money from the men, but I'm like, if you were together, that's, first of all, that's after 10 years. And second of all, if you were together for a period of time and you grew, you know, why wouldn't you want to, you know, share the wealth, you know?
Yeah, so
And
I don't want to cut you off. I just want to try to understand this. I want to try to understand. When you first met, 6 months in, he started talking about marriage and family. When did he start talking about how marriage is unfair for men?
that was like about a year ago. But like before, like maybe 2019, yeah, more than a year.
Okay. Are you willing to stay in this relationship indefinitely and have children out of wedlock for a man that may never marry you? Are you willing to do that?
No,
Okay, so then what is your next option?
well, the next option. But that's the thing. He just told me, yes, we will be married.
You were pregnant
Right.
in what was it? January 2020. You were pregnant
Mhm.
and he didn't get
Mhm.
married to you then. You would have already had a
No.
baby by now and you would have been a single mother. He didn't get
Mm.
down on one knee when he found out that you were pregnant. Instead, he was acting stressed.
Mhm.
I just want us to take a look at what it is that we have. I want us to take a look at what is being presented before us. And does he love you?
Well, I felt like it, but I guess I didn't really look at things like, maybe that's what I'm feeling. With all the red flags that you're saying is what I'm feeling, you know, as like my intuition. It's
The
kind of like,
question is,
okay,
does he love you?
I thought he did, but
What is it that
I'm
what
not
is it
so
that
sure
made you
anymore.
feel what is it that made you feel that he loved you?
Well, how he treated me.
How did he treat you that made you feel that he loved you?
He's always there for me
Uh-huh.
whenever I need something, or like, you know, that's the main thing. He's there for me. He's consistent
Whenever
in
you
that
need
matter.
something like what? A stick of butter from the grocery store? Whenever you need something like what?
Anything. I mean, I've never asked for anything that he's been like, no, I'm not helping you.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay. I mean, I'm talking about like everyday things, you know,
You haven't
whenever I
given an
need,
example yet, my
huh?
dear. You haven't given an example yet.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Like, for example, If I need to take care of my car, he takes care of my car. If I need something done on my house, he comes and does it. If I need, I mean, anything.
Like,
I'm trying to
so if
think,
he, because you said there hasn't been anything that you have told him that you needed that he
oh,
has not done.
except for marriage.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. Let's start there. You are telling him that marriage is important to you. You were telling him that
Hmm.
marriage is important to your family. You were pregnant with his child, and he didn't give you what it is that you need, the safety, the security. Instead, during this joyous time of your life when you were pregnant with his child, he didn't get down on one knee and ask you to marry him. However, you have said that if the young lady from SWV was in his presence
I
and he had
mean,
the
I don't know if he would or not, but I would say yes because why not? Like I don't know.
because he would be afraid to lose her, because he would want to keep her in his life, because he would want the type of life that would be with that woman with all the things that he imagined, yet he is with you, and he in 5 years has not asked you to marry him, and you are 39. You said that you are not willing to become a single mother, because if your issue was, right, if you said, you know what, I'm willing to be a single mother, I'm willing to take this gamble, then I'm just going to stay here and see what happens. You said, I don't want to be a single mother. I'm 39. This is where I'm at in life, and I want a family that is born in wedlock. And he has indicated to you over the past year that he feels that marriage is a trap for men, and he doesn't like how men are treated in marriage in case of divorce and all of this other stuff. It doesn't sound like you two are on the same page in terms of marriage. It doesn't sound like you
Yeah.
two are on the same page. And I'm wondering, how much more are you going to gamble into this situation? Are you willing to never have children because of him?
Well, at this point in age of 39, I'm not necessarily hung up on having kids. You know, I know that if
So
it
you're willing,
happens,
so
it
you're
would
willing to never have children. That's what you're saying. You're willing to never have
right. Yeah,
children. Okay.
I'm not too like bent on having kids. If it happens, then that's a blessing. But if it
Okay.
doesn't, then it is what it
Okay.
is.
Have you ever caught him cheating on you?
No,
Have you ever had any type of indication that there's any other woman?
no,
Okay. Does he have other children?
no,
So he has no children. He's dating
no.
only you. You've been together 5 years, and he is not. Okay. You said that you stopped speaking to him for 5 days and he continued to contact you. And how did you
Hmm.
two just start speaking again? How did you get back into this this situation where now you're
Well,
now back where you were before you stopped speaking to him?
there was so the day that he came over, there was a death in my family, and that was pretty hard for me. And he he was still texting me and everything, and I kind of told him, and that's when we started talking again.
Okay, so he slid back in when you were in mourning over the death in your family. And so
Mhm.
you all did not bring up the subject again until 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. What is it that you would like coaching on this evening?
I would like, I don't know if it's, um, I don't know what it is. Like, I want clarity. Like, I want within myself, you know,
Okay. So what do you
and
think
I
it'll
kind
take for
of
you to have
maybe need
clarity?
help. Yeah.
What do you
Huh?
think it will take for you to have clarity?
No, I mean, the conversation has given me a lot of clarity.
Okay. What clarity have you gotten from this conversation?
Well, just how you put it, you know, that I was pregnant and he didn't ask me to marry him, and that that's what I want to be, you know, that's what I value, and he hasn't done it, and that he most likely would marry the girl from SWB if she was to leave, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think.
What is your biggest fear in this situation?
Well, I used to. It's not that I feared it, but it was kind of like the sense of we've been together for this long. We've been able to, you know, overcome things, and in a sense, like, you know, everybody has, you know, ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
But that was basically what I was thinking, you know. And he's still there. He's still. It's not like he's never disappeared on me, you know. He's never disappeared on me, not for one day.
Okay.
So that is something that, you know, it's kind of like I'm like, okay, what is it? I was gonna ask him, what is it that you want from me? Because I really don't understand. You don't do what you need to do, but you still want to have me. I mean, that's selfish. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that is selfish.
Okay. Well, there's a lot going on here. You care for him. He cares for you. He is a from what you say, he sounds like he's a great help to you when you need help and stuff like that. However, you're not feeling safe in this relationship. You're not feeling safe.
Mhm.
And you are not willing, you say, to continue in this relationship if there's no marriage. How much
Right.
how what how much longer do you need? How much longer are you willing to stay in this relationship without marriage if
You know,
marriage
you've
never
asked
comes?
that before, and I was asking myself that question. You asked it a little bit different. It's like, how much more pain do you need to endure in
Mhm.
order to, you know. And then one time you said, "Oh, when someone asks you if I should still be in this relationship, you would say stay in it until you don't have that question anymore." So I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't need any more pain.
Mm.
That's why I'm like, okay, like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
the,
It's
but see,
just
this is my concern. And I'm going to be honest
what
with
it.
you. My concern is, okay, you could ask him to marry you, but is that something that he wants to do because he's not asking? And you can leave
Oh no, I
and
would not. I would not do that because
right, right,
I
right.
would
No, no, no,
not
no,
do
no. I'm
that.
not. I'm not. I want to continue the point. I want to continue the point. Right.
Go ahead.
So you could ask him, and maybe he would go along with it, and you'd be married. But we wouldn't know whether or not that was something he wanted to do. Right. Or
Right.
you could
Mhm.
leave, and he can then run after you and say, "Well, I let's get married. Let's get married." But it's not
Mhm.
something that he has valued and has willingly come to be like, listen, you are the woman that I love, and I want to have a life with you where I commit to you. He has not come of his own accord. That is a concern to me.
Right.
It's concerning to me that it's been 5 years. He's 42. He doesn't have other children that we know of. When you became pregnant, he was worried and thinking more about money than the life that you two were bringing into this world. He's expressed things about men and the bad side of of divorce and how they lose money and even though you are the woman that he loves. When I asked you whether or not he loved you, you laughed and didn't have an answer. And these are all things that are concerning to me. So you know that he loves you because when your light bulb needs changing, he comes over and changes your light bulb. You can hire a person to do that off of Craigslist.
No, that's true. But you know what I mean when I say that. Like, it's it's not
The
about
things, listen, the things that you named were maintenance. That's what you named. Coming to take your car to get cleaned and doing those things. But the one thing that you need to feel safe and secure as you get older, you're 39 years old and your fertility is plummeting each year. And he knows your age and he knows that marriage is important to you. He knows that he's been occupying your time for 5 years as your family has seen him laying up with you for 5 years. And when you were pregnant, he did not come out as man and head of household to say, Mia, will you marry me? Let's have a family. He didn't say this to you. The baby miscarried and he still didn't say it to you.
well, he did after I had a miscarriage.
He
He was
asked you to
very
marry
sad,
him.
and no, he basically planned it for the future again.
So he started talking about some miscellaneous date. So when you were mourning your family's death, he came over and slid back into the relationship. When you were mourning the death of your unborn child or the miscarrying of your fetus, he then started talking about this sometime in the future marriage. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say because relationships are complex. And there's an age
Oh,
and time investment. You've invested 5 years of your time, 5 prime fertility years as you now approach, 40. You've invested time into this relationship. However, I want to know how much more you are willing to give of your fertility, of your youth, of your life into this relationship without the commitment and the safety that you say that you want to feel from marriage. Why don't you do this, right?
mhm.
If he doesn't want to get married, ask him how he would feel about starting a joint LLC with you, right? A joint LLC where you will get a lawyer to draw up some paperwork. You don't have to call it marriage, but create a joint LLC that and a lawyer draw up paperwork that affords you the same protections as marriage, but without calling it marriage, and see whether or not he'll go along for that. And if he doesn't, then you have your answer. Say we will
Well,
start the
he
Mia
he spoke
Jam.
about talking to lawyers, before we sign any papers because he wants a prenup.
He wants a prenup.
Yeah.
What does he do for a living?
He's a mechanic.
He's a mechanic and want a prenup? I'm sorry, that was unprofessional of me.
Listen, that's what I said. I was like, what is it that you're
And what is it that you
like?
do for a living?
I'm admin.
You're an administrative
Like
assistant.
office. Yes, office.
Okay. Who makes more money, him or you?
Him.
So how much more money does he make than you as a mechanic?
I would say maybe like 20,000. Maybe like somewhere around. He does a lot of overtime, so.
He makes $20,000 per year more than you from doing a lot of overtime, quote unquote, and he wants a prenuptial agreement to make sure that you don't take his extra $20,000 a year. Mia,
Uh-huh.
where is your father?
He's told me that, well, he told me when we were together, like about less than a year, he was like, when is it that you guys are doing something, you know? And I don't know what it was, Tanya. Like back then, I, I don't know. I wasn't thinking like this. I guess the the age is what changed everything because I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, like basically, I felt like I was okay.
Okay. Listen, I don't know what else to say. I really
No,
don't know
I
what
hear
else to
you.
say because you're in this situation with this man. Is your father married to your mother?
No.
Okay, I want to know what conversation your father has had with this man about the fact that this man has taken up 5 years of his daughter's life. Well, how does your father feel about this? What has your father spoken to him about? Because this right here is so, it's disrespectful at this point. He is
Well,
take, I want to
they don't
know.
speak the language. Like they don't. My dad only speaks Spanish and he only speaks English. So it's like that's. I think that's the reason why my dad hasn't been able to intervene and be like, okay, because of the language.
No, because there's a universal language that men speak when they grasp hands.
Okay.
And he knows that you're dating this man. You speak hablas español.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that you could translate for your father to this man.
Look, I know. I think the whole time when I wasn't like pushing it, I was more like guarding for him. Like
So you were
it's
caping for him to your family, making excuses for him.
I believe so because my family has asked about it. Like my dad has asked about it, but I wasn't in that mindset. And to be honest, I've been like watching a lot of people that talk about, marriage and then the whole thing with the black man and the mentality of the black man and all of that. And that's when I'm like, okay, so this is just like getting to the point where all of these things that they're saying is true. And that's when it hit me and I was like, okay, and that's when I started pressuring. This is very hard for me to do because I mean I see the comments, I understand, like
Listen, you don't have to look at the comments because this is why I took them off the screen. If you are choosing to look at the comments, even though I've taken them off the screen, then that is a choice that you're making. It is very brave of you to call in because when I asked for people to call in, most people didn't. You were one of the brave ones who not only found a way to circumvent Cash App, but to go to PayPal. There was something from this phone call that you needed and you had the courage to go and get it. There are many people out there who are sitting by saying whatever the F it is that they want to say in the comments. We don't know those people. We've not seen their faces. We have not heard their voices. So we cannot be worried about nameless, faceless people who are saying whatever it is that they will do on the internet. I know how difficult it is to unravel from relationships. I know. So this is why I am not
yeah.
telling you what you need to do because I know that it's difficult to part ways with a person or separate from a person that one, you become accustomed to dealing with each day. So they have become a
Hmm.
part of your routine, a part of your habit, a part of your own daily patterns for the last 5 years. We're talking about 60 months.
Yep.
So I understand. I understand how close bonds can be and how much a person can hope and want to make things all right and think that if they hold on for just a little bit longer that things will be all right. But I want you to pay attention to the fact that you have your father in your life. And when your father started asking questions about marriage and what is going to go on, listen, you need to have your father have a conversation with this man because your father can hold his hand. Listen, all right, I am here, right? And I remember there was a broadcast that there was a man on the screen that was so repulsive to me that I was inspired into tongue. I started talking in many different languages, right? And people understood what it was that I was saying just by the mere energy of what it is that I was emoting on the screen. People communicate with a vibration that exists inside of them. You need to have your father speak with this man.
I guess at this point is embarrassing. Like
Listen.
exactly what you said. It's I guess that's why I don't even take him like it's been like
So
since
you're embarrassed of this relationship that you have with the person of this man. What is it that's embarrassing you that it's been so long?
yeah, that it's been so long. And the thing that frustrates me is that I have broken up with him and I've told him, I want you to be happy, but I want to be happy too. And he comes up with all of these things, and I don't know why I allow him to do that.
Okay. I have to stand up because my bottom is flattening out from being on the chair for so long. But listen, my dear, I just want you to take a look at the situation that we have at hand. I want you to take a cold, hard, honest look at what we really have here. And if you're going to break up with him anyway, or you're thinking about breaking up, or you feel that this is not the right relationship with you, then you need to do everything that you can do to see whether or not you can get this on the right track. And I'm saying that you need to have your father have a conversation with this man. You need to have this man touch your father's hand in a grasp and have your father communicate to him that he has been with his daughter for 5 years and that and your father knows your age. They don't have any grandchildren from you, and I know how much Dominicans value family and grandchildren and all of those things. You have siblings,
Yes, I do.
and your siblings are married and have children.
One of them is married and has 2 kids, and the other one has a kid, but he didn't stay with the mother.
Okay.
But that's from like I have 2 siblings from my dad and 2 siblings from my mom.
So your father married someone else.
Yeah, twice.
Okay. Wait, your father has had he married your mother.
My dad has me, which I'm the oldest, and my brother, which is from another mother, and then my sister, which is from another mother.
Okay. All right. I understand a little bit better. What happened? Hold on. Hold on. Maybe her phone died.
Hello?
Yeah, her phone got disconnected.
Oh, yeah,
Did
I
you
saw
did
that.
you
I was
hang up?
like,
Did you hang up on me? Were you done with the call?
no, no, no. I was you were about to say something. I'm really interested in what you're gonna say because you said that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, it makes a little bit more sense. We're dealing with a situation with two people who have parents who were not married to one another, and your father has children from different relationships. and he didn't marry your mother. So your father is not, and he has other children. So your father's attention is divested among children who have different mothers, right? Not
Yeah.
divested, that's not the word, dispersed, maybe a better word. It's, what do you call
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Divvied. It's divvied among children who have different mothers. So your father is not like the main, he's not like the padre, of the house, because he's in many different houses. So he's not
Yeah.
like, he's not that male force. He's not there at the gatherings, and he's not, you know what I mean? It's different.
Mhm.
It makes more sense because he's not there looming. And you've also made excuses for this man, and there's no male patriarch to hold him accountable. I say, look, I don't typically give advice, but like I said, I would ask my father to have a conversation with him and to shake his hand and squeeze it real tight and peer into his eyes and dile las cosas que él necesito decir. Hombre a hombre, ¿me entiendes?
Sí, yo entiendo.
Okay. All right.
Oh, thank you so much. That was great. It brought sadness to me, but I think I needed it.
Okay. Well, we all love to see a story develop. So if you get a chance to call back in on a future broadcast, please do give us an update on how things turned out.
I will.
Okay?
I will.
Because I
All
am
right,
I'm
thank
I'm
you.
hoping that your father having a conversation with him will make
I'm gonna
him
talk to him.
Oh, you're not going to have your father have a conversation with him?
No, I'm gonna talk to my dad and tell
Okay.
him.
Okay, yes. Because listen, if there's one thing that your father can do is he can take his older
I mean,
Dominican
but
knuckles,
Tanya,
hold
wait a
onto
minute.
his hand and say what he needs to say. Yes? Yes, Mia?
But what I'm like at this point, because that's one of the parts that I'm like embarrassed like about that. Everything that you said, because everything that you
Listen,
said
listen.
were
Embarrassment out
red
the window. It's
flags.
already been 5 years. Listen, listen. But put the embarrassment aside. We don't have time for that. At the end of the day, we need to do what we feel will accomplish the goal. The goal is that either he will ask you to marry him of his own accord, or the relationship will be over. That's the goal. That there's only two options here. And I'm hoping that the conversation with him and your father will make him so uncomfortable that he will become very clear. That's what I'm hoping.
And do you think, well, I would say, do you think that that's gonna bring issues into our relationship because of the fact that it's not something that he decided probably on his own?
Listen, listen, we already know that when a woman stays gone long enough, the men come back. We already know that. We know that already. We know that. We know that. I think that it is time for you to start eliciting the assistance of your patriarch. I think that is time. And I understand that you're embarrassed. Okay. At the end of the day, right? What is it that you want? At the end of the day, is you want him to willingly ask you to marry him, right?
Hmm.
That's what you want. And he has not done so
Yeah,
willingly. You have two
he
options.
hasn't.
What are the options that you have? What are the options that you have? What options do you
Well,
have? Do you think your mother talking to him is going to change? What do you think is going to get you the result that you want?
no, and I understand what you're saying. I really understand what you're saying. My thing is there is there a point because it's been so long and now I don't know. That's why I'm
Let me
so
ask you a
torn
question.
because
When are you going to admit to yourself that you really don't want to marry him? When are you going to admit that to yourself? Hmm? When are you
Wow.
going to admit that you really don't want to marry him? What is it that you're afraid of right now? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being alone? What is it that you're afraid of?
I'm actually not afraid. I think I was afraid of being alone a while back, but not anymore because I mean,
What is it? I don't want you to answer what you're not afraid of. I want you to tell me what you are afraid of. What are you afraid of?
what am I afraid of?
Yes. What are you afraid of?
I'm trying, but I can't find an answer. Like, I'm not afraid. Well,
There's
I'm
something.
wait. I'm afraid. Yes. Let me, because I it just got came to me. If we do, let's say it works, and I go ahead and get married with this person, and then I've seen men that, even though it seems like the marriage is going well, um, they say, "Oh, you pressured me into this. You made me do this, and now, like you don't want to do this or you don't want to do that." That I am afraid
Exactly.
of.
Exactly. Because deep
That I
down
am
you
afraid of.
know that you do not want to marry him. Deep down you know that he is not going to be the husband that you need him to be. If he was, he would have willingly asked you long ago. You know that he is not. So when are you going to admit to yourself that you really don't want to marry him? You haven't answered that question.
Because I didn't know that I didn't want to marry him, Tanya. You just brought that into like my existence right now.
Listen, it's obvious that you too have a fear of commitment. That's obvious.
Both of us, you're saying, yeah.
Apparently, and you are going through the motions of a person that claims that she wants commitment. A woman that wants commitment gets commitment. A woman who commitment is important to her, she gets that commitment. When are you going to admit that you don't really want commitment?
Hmm. I'm gonna I'm gonna think about that.
A woman who, listen, there are many married women in the chat right now, right? There are many married women. There are women who commitment was important to them and it was at the forefront of their decision-making process. A person who really wants commitment doesn't go along for 5 years without it. And then you already have indications that he is not the man. I mean, listen, you like feeling safe. Signing this prenup, how safe are you going to feel having a baby with a man who has a prenuptial agreement that you had to sign so that you don't get some of his $40,000 a year job? Hmm?
Hmm. Yeah. I know. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you.
Okay.
It's a journey. It's been a journey for me. I don't know why it takes so long
Because you
to
did not want
realize.
commitment. You did not value commitment. You did not want commitment. And the reason why you feel that you are gearing more towards commitment now is because you've already invested 5 years into this relationship and you're turning 40. But notice when he turned 40, he when he had that 40-year itch, he wasn't looking to get married when he was turning into his quacentennial or whatever you call it. He didn't do that.
Right.
You know that you're not going to feel safe in this relationship. You know that you're not going to feel safe because he didn't give commitment to you willingly. And he's not going in saying, you know what, Mia, I want to care for you. I believe that we're going to be together forever. Instead, he's talking some dusty talking points from the internet. I didn't want to have to say this, but we've gone way over our time now.
I know.
He's talking dusty talking points from the internet. How much is he making a year? I made the joke and said 40,000, but I know you said he's making 20,000 more than you. How much is he making each year?
It's a little bit under 70.
All right. So he's making 60 something thousand dollars a year before taxes.
Yeah.
And he wants
Yeah.
you to sign a prenuptial so that you don't get some of his 60,000 in case of a divorce. This doesn't sound like a man who is really, truly, because we're talking about a man who is, you say he's 42, so he is what? 23 years away from retirement. 23 years away from being retired, and he is not really truly concerned about you growing into your twilight years. He's trying to find a way so that when you're old and fucking gray, oh, I did not mean to start cursing. So that when you're old and gray, and if anything happens, there's this prenup, and you're shit out of luck as an old woman now. This is his thought before he's like, oh, we're gonna have to get some paperwork signed so that you don't get some of my $60,000 when you're 50 or 60 years old or older. Come on. I don't know what else to say, my dear. I'm sorry that I got loud with you. It's just I feel that the other ways that I'm speaking, you're not hearing. I feel that you're not hearing.
No, I know. I hear you. I get it. Like, I get it.
Okay. All right.
I appreciate you.
All right. Well, you know what? We appreciate your bravery. It takes a lot of guts to come up here and speak openly and honestly in front of the public. And I know that some of the questions are prying and stuff like that. So we appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for the opportunity, Tonya. You're doing great. I wish I had a Tonya when I was like 20 years old or younger.
What do you think would have been different? Because you weren't ready for commitment then.
Well, yeah, I did want commitment then, and I had commitment. I was in a like relationship, committed relationship back then. He even gave me a ring and everything. We never got married because I realized that was not the future that I wanted. But I mean, when you said that I didn't want commitment, that was kind of like a surprise, like a shock to me, because I do. Maybe I just don't want it with him anymore, because of everything that has happened. Maybe that's what you're picking up on. But
no, that's not what I'm picking up on. Let me tell you something. Traveling is very important to me. I love to travel, right? We talked about this earlier on the show. When I travel for at least a month. I will allow myself to only stay for 3 weeks in certain occasions that are very time crunch, but I allow myself a month to travel. And people always ask, Tonya, how do you find the money to travel for a month? How do you find the ability? How do you find this? How do you find that? And I say to people, travel is very important to me. So I make sure that I built a life around the type of life that I want. This is what is important to me. So I made a life that had that in it because that was important to me. I was not willing to settle for a life that did not have that in it. And there's some people who they spend their money on trips to Miami. There's some people who spend their money on bottle service. There's some people who spend their money on shoes and Gucci belts. A Gucci belt is $500, I found out. I spend my money on plane tickets. I create jobs so that I have the latitude to be able to travel when I want to travel when I need to. A woman who values commitment gets commitment. It's as simple as that. When you put commitment at the forefront of your dating choices, that's how you navigate. You don't accept anything less than that. A woman who has it at the forefront, she gets commitment because that's important to her. Women who have a fear of commitment, women who don't want commitment, women who have issues that they're not addressing on the inside as it relates to commitment. And I don't know if it has something to do with your father and the different families that he's created. I don't know. These are things that you would have to look into in therapy to kind of figure out, why am I saying that I want commitment? Why in my heart do I feel that I want commitment, but my actions are not supporting that which it is that I am consciously saying that I want? Your actions staying in a relationship without marriage for 5 years, that is not the actions of a woman who has commitment at the forefront. And also, having a conversation about a man who has told you that he wants you to sign a prenup, that when you were pregnant, he didn't ask you to marry him then, that he's talking about marriage is so hard for men and what happens to men. We're having a conversation about a man that has not displayed that he values marriage, but we're talking about how we want commitment, but we are not. Listen, when you want strawberries, which aisle do you go to in the grocery store?
To the produce.
Exactly. Are you going to go to the canned food section talking about you looking for strawberries?
Right.
You're saying
I
that you
don't
want
that
commitment, but you're with a man who is exhibiting and saying to you that he does not value commitment, that he does not, that he's putting it off into the future as some unforeseen time. It's already been 5 years. You're having these conversations with a person that has indicated that they don't value marriage. You had his child in your womb, and he didn't ask you to marry him.
Mhm.
And when the child miscarried and you were devastated, he began speaking to you of this unforeseen time in the future. He didn't say, baby, you know what? Let's do it right. Let's now that we have more time, we don't just have 9 months. Let's do it right. Let's get a date on the calendar. Let's start booking the halls. He didn't do that. The fetus died, and he comforted you with some flowery words, but then it was just back to business as usual. He's talking about some damn prenup with a woman who may have his children. He's talking about a prenup. I don't understand, baby.
Mhm.
I don't understand. Listen, we've gone way over our time, and I know
I
that
know.
you've gotten what it is that you need
I,
from this phone call. So we appreciate you calling in. It was very brave of you, and we appreciate you. You've done it. You've done an amazing thing. So we thank you. Thank you, Mia.
thank you. Anna. Thank
We love you. Keep your head up, and call back in
you.
the future to let us know what took place. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All
Bye.
right. All right. So. All right. So there are. All right. So here. I am going to. All right. So there are a lot of people who sent cash apps through for coaching, and I'm refunding your monies now. Give me 1 second. Adrian, I just refunded your money. Shalian, I'm refunding yours. Okay. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. I just read this, so I realized that there was a different name you wanted. Sorry. I just refunded you. I apologize. Because it shows a different name until you read it. All right. There was a person named Christina that gave $29 for a coaching donation. I'm going to refund that. All right. And there was another person by the name of Charnel who was gifting a coaching to someone. I'm going to refund that. Okay. Okay. All right. And then there are some other Cash Apps that have come through. Shalonda sent $5 and says, just because you're great. I'm sending her a heart. Thank you. Listen, I appreciate all of you coming out to the broadcast today. This was a very heart-opening broadcast, so I appreciate each and every person. And listen, here, let's, hold on, let me take care of this next Cash App. Jennifer sends $5 and says, Tonya, your moderator blocked me for no reason. Oh, I forgot about that. Was from earlier. Yeah, we read that already. Let me send an emoji back. I sending her back a shocked face emoji. And we spoke to Mary. So I'm just marking these as red. We spoke to Mary and we spoke to Freddie, who was the first person. All right. So listen. All right. What are you all writing out here? You all are so reckless. It is not early. It is midnight. I have been doing work all day. Listen, it costs $250 an hour. It costs $250 an hour to coach with me. I'm being very serious with you. The reason that I came out here to do these coaching sessions today is because I felt that people needed the coaching sessions and I wanted to be able to, let me take this out my ear. I wanted to be able to hold a space for people who valued themselves enough to be able to contribute $29 to a live coaching session, because I don't think people know that it's $250 to coach with me privately. So so this is not something that I plan on doing again. So I just came out and did this today because the spirit moved me to do this today. So I do feel like I feel like this broadcast hasn't, but I feel so stiff. I need to stretch, and I've been sitting for a really long time and I don't want to stay seated any longer. It is after midnight. And these calls were very refreshing. This has been, listen, today has been a wonderful, wonderful day where we have had the opportunity to assist many different people today. And I think one of the things that we're going to do is I think going forward, a dance party. Oh my goodness. I know, right? We should do a dance party soon. Oh my gracious. I feel antsy sitting here. Oh. Listen, if we're going to be giving, let's give a round of applause to our moderators who were here doing some heavy lifting. So thank you, Tanya Walker. Thank you very much. What is your new name now? Astromedia? Asteroidia? Yes, after Asteroidia Black. Thank you very much. Yeah, throw those boxing gloves up. How can you get a coaching session with me? Adrian, I take very few people for private coaching sessions, and you'd have to contact me privately because coaching is a commitment for you and a commitment for me. So if you have, listen, to get coaching with me, is a commitment of 3 months. Because if you want to see real change, it's going to take 3 months to go through the process of talking, setting goals, following up on those goals, and continuing over and over to set new goals until you are in the place that you want to be. So it takes a 3-month commitment. So if you feel that you're ready for a 3-month commitment with me each week, meeting up and doing the hard work of creating change, let me know. Come to my website if you have the desire and you have the $3,000 to do the 3-month commitment. Because I know I'm just going to be straight up with you all. I'm going to be straight up with you all because when I coach, I go all in. I go all in. So it's $250 per session, and we meet 4 times a month for 3 months. That is $3,000 right there. So if you have that and you want to invest in yourself, contact me privately and let's get the ball rolling on that. I would need to interview you first and assess whether or not your goals are a good fit for my coaching style and whether or not this is the direction that we will go in. Let me see here. Who is interested in a 3-month commitment? If you are, let me see you put up the number 4. Let's see, put up the number 4. Let's see who's interested in having a 3-month commitment with your girl Tonya. I'm looking, let me put the thing on vertical so that we can see. Let's see. I'm looking for the 4s now. So Ashley is saying her phone died. Lester's putting a thumbs up. I do not take insurance. Oh, Charlene and Vivi feel they're up for the task. So does Life of Destiny. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of 4s up here. All right. Okay. Listen. Hold on. Let's do the numbers again. Let's do the numbers again. Let's do the numbers. Let's do the numbers again. If you have the $3,000 and are interested in a 3-month commitment, put up the number 7. If you have the financial resource, let's see. Let's start the poll over again. Let's start the poll over again. Let's start the poll. My bad. I should have clarified. Let's start the poll. I'm waiting for the 7s to come through now because I still see a 4. Not as soon as you get it or when Santa bring it or when you shake up and down on a poll for it. Not any of that. If you have it right now. Oh, Sharice says she up for it. Dominique too? Okay. Eric? Okay. Okay. Tracy? All right. Okay. Well, you know what? Come to my website. Life of Destiny still at a 4. Godiva. All right. Come to my website. www.TonyaTko.com/ what is contact. So here, that's the address right there. Send me a message now. We can split it up into 2 payments. $1,500 up front, and then the other $1,500 when we get a few weeks in. So Marie says, I'm not interested. I'm willing to help sponsor. When you say help sponsor, you talking about paying for the whole thing? Right. Yes, the appointments are weekly. You know what? Style to the top. Wait, let me go. Where's my belt at? Where's my belt? Unbelievable. All right. Do I ever take sponsors? BetterHelp needs you. What is BetterHelp? Is that the name of your nonprofit? Contact me on the contact link if you'd like to advertise during the show. So you all want to start a TKO scholarship fund. So if we don't do one coaching session for 3 months, we do one a week for 3 months. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. You all are so silly. Well, listen, you all know how to contact me. And I leave the invitation out there for you all. I leave the invitation. All right, so listen, listen, you got to stay hydrated. You got to stay hydrated. All right, so listen. Oh, we should go out to a little dance tonight. Let me get my music back in my ear. Let me get my music back. Let me get my music back. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Hey. Hey. And it does include hypnotherapy if it calls for that in our session. Oh, session. Hey. Ooh. 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 Hey. Listen, I appreciate all of you for coming out. This was a very anointed broadcast. Listen, I appreciate all of you for taking the chance and calling in. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you calling my moves old lady moves. These are not old lady moves. These are the Cabbage Patch. Or maybe they are. Hey. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? Love yourself. Listen, it's late and I've been up late 2 nights in a row. Listen, you all just trying to get me to get up. You just trying to get me to get up. I ain't gonna do it. Oh, I ain't doing it. Y'all are right. I'm out of breath now from my cheer dancing. Listen, go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is what? Part of loving yourself is when you see an amazing opportunity in front of you to be able to get the assistance that you need, jump on that opportunity. Because we saw people tonight get $250 worth of coaching for $29. This was an amazing opportunity. I'm glad that I was able to hold this space for people. And we will come back tomorrow. We're going to talk about what are we talking about tomorrow? We're talking about the retreat tomorrow. I need to get the dates on the calendar, and we need to start getting some deposits in. So for all of you who are interested in coming to the retreats, then we need to start getting the moves made to be able to make it happen, because we are going to be going into the wilderness for 3 days, and we're going to be doing some live in-person coaching. We're going to be doing some, you know what? Yes, that is it's going to be so beautiful. We're going out into nature and we're going to have a retreat. And this is an amazing opportunity. I just thought about how powerful it's going to be. And yes, this is actually, yes. So listen, you know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. You want me to open up a scholarship for the retreat? Okay. You know what? I'm going to open up a scholarship for the retreat, but I'm also going to offer the retreat at an early bird discount that is astronomical. And so, yes, that's what I'm going to do. And so people are going to have to get in early to get the early bird special. Otherwise, the price is going to go not even up to a level that it is. Yeah, yeah. You know what? How many people are asking for a scholarship for the retreat? More than one person? I think more than one person asked that. I don't know. Don't worry, I'll set up a scholarship fund. You're not going glamping. It is not glamping. Don't. I said we're going into the wilderness, and if you interpreted that as glamping, then you're going to have to reassess. No, there's going to be cabins and tents. It's going to be cabins and tents. So what we're going to do is we're going to rent out 6 cabins on this nature preserve. So we're going to rent 6 cabins and 4 tent sites. And we're also going to have a kitchen area available for us to cook and do our things, right? So, we're going to talk about it, and we're just going to spend 3 days in nature. We're going to spend 3 days in nature, and I'm also going to have a VIP. I'm going to have a VIP package where you all will get to spend a week with me out in nature. So that is how we're going to do it. I'm going to stay in my beautiful RV, and you all will be in the cabins, and there's not going to be a yurt. I already told you it's going to be cabins and tents. There's no yurt. You talking some mess now. So Dash calls a cabin. Okay, well, you know what? Listen. The cabins have one private room and then a bunk bedroom. So the bunk bedroom is going to be, there's a black owned campground. How beautiful. How beautiful. Camping, not glamping. Exactly. You need a portable AC. Don't you worry. We're going to be in California. You're going to have AC every night because it's going to be 50 degrees in the evening. So you go right on ahead and get you your AC. Nature's going to give your your AC every night. Don't you worry. Nature got you. I don't know why I think that's funny. That is so funny to me. Don't you worry. Single accommodation? No, there's no. You can bring. If you want to be in a tent, you can have your own tent. Let me think for a moment. Will there be a single accommodation? You know what? The problem is that we can't unless see a single accommodation. That's an interesting question. I'm glad you brought that up. Listen, we're gonna be in California. You don't have to worry about bears. You don't have to worry about bears now. The mountain lions, that's a different story now. You don't have to worry about bears in Cali though. You don't have to worry about that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. You don't have to worry about no bears. Not up in the California mountains, dear. You don't have to worry. But if you hear something that go, "Meow!" Listen, I'm sorry, it's late and I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Okay, listen. If you hear some rustling in the woods, and you turn around and there's something over there crouched down talking about "Row!" You listen. That's pay more for that experience. Listen, you never know. Listen. You never know. We're not going to be drinking there. It ain't going to be purring. The mountain lions are not purring. Your husband was chased by a bear in Cali? Was this a dog? let me because when I was living in my car, I Googled whether there were bears. And it said that bears are very unlikely in the woods of California, because I was in my tent. And so, I was like, I was concerned. But they were like, it's very unlikely. You'll more likely come across a mountain lion. I know I am sleepy now at this point, because I'm going crazy talking foolishness. So, and Lemon is talking about we gotta have wine now. Are you the young lady who got intoxicated and fell asleep on my broadcast last night? So Royal is saying you ain't got no time for no mountain bears and snakes. Listen, why not go to an island? This is a beautiful preserve, and there's no mountain lions on the preserve. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry. On the preserve, it's an enclosed space. Oh, goodness. Maria's saying, Tonya, I'm born and raised. It's not likely, but possible. Yes, no one said it was impossible. I just said that you're not going to really find it. You saw a bear in Yosemite? How interesting. So it will be September. It will be September in the 20s. I have to book the date tomorrow. So I want to book it for the fall equinox, because that's a highly spiritual time, and it'll be a full moon and the weather is still nice. I like those cool I like those cool Cali nights. So listen, it's not going to be right for everybody. This is going to be our first one. And I want to go to a place that, I want to go to a place that I have been to, that I love, and that had a really high vibration for me. And so that's where I want us to go. And so, it's a huge risk planning a retreat, because there's a lot of expense involved that you have to put up front. However, I feel confident in where it is that we are. And how do I put this? As a community, I feel confident in where it is that we are, that the retreat is going to have the people that are meant to be there. So it's going to be 3 days, and we're talking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then leaving on Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. I guess we would need to leave on Monday then, because let's see. If we get there in the daytime on Thursday, that means that we would need to have a cabin for the night of Thursday, a cabin for the night of Friday, a cabin for the night of Saturday. That's 3 nights. So if we want to leave on, let me ask you all a question. In terms of taking time off from work and being able to come to a retreat, let me know the day span. Can you all do a Thursday? Can you do Thursday through leave on Sunday, or can you leave on Monday? Let me know. So I'm going to wait for those answers to come through, because there's a little bit of a delay. So you'll be in San Diego that weekend. That's good. So you'll be able to come up, Tracy. Wait. A rat jumped on Pam or a possum? That sounds horrible. 2 nights and 3 days. That doesn't really give us much time to do the things that we need to do. All right, so leave Monday. All right, Thursday through, is September enough notice? That's what I'm trying to find out. So Thursday is much better. Okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Leave Sunday. I guess we could have, Thursday, come in Thursday. So Thursday be a free day. And then so we have Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. But we still have to pay for Thursday night. The retreat will be in California. It's going to be it's going to be Palm Springs. So Palm Springs, California. So, okay, so October is too cold. October is too cold. So we're doing it in September. So, let me see. Oh my goodness, this was a great broadcast. Natalie, New Jersey is in the United States. You could come to California. I don't understand, Natalie. You don't need a passport to get to the United States of California. You don't need a passport for that. Or the United States of Mexifornia, however you want to say it. I work Tuesday through Friday. Amanda, you can't get off in September? You don't think September is enough notice because after September, the season is over. September is the very end of the season. I mean, we're in July right now. This is still it's the middle of July. Well. You know what? Listen. Oh my gosh, have we been on here for almost 4 hours? No. I need to get off of here. I guess we'll have to talk about this more tomorrow because, listen, either we do it this year or we put it off until next year and then we just might not ever do it. The first week of September is a holiday. Okay. So the fall equinox is the 22nd. Mexicali, how funny. All right. I mean, I think 2 months is not enough time to plan. I mean, other than that, I mean, we can do one this September and we can also plan one for the people who couldn't make the September one. We can plan for next year, but I don't want to put it off for another year away because, you start putting off and then it just never happens when there are some people, even if there's not as many people, there are some people who are going to be able to come out. And those are the people who will be able to, the people who it's right for, it'll be right for. It's not going to be right for everybody. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not going to be right for everybody. So it's not a holiday. The 22nd is not a holiday. And after Labor Day, the season is over. So flights should be good at the end of the season. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, Look, Pink Love says planet. I'm sure they will come. All right. So I'm thinking that the early bird special will be $997 for the 3 days per person. California is Gilead. No, Gilead was on the East Coast. Gilead, I believe, was Boston. Okay, California was not. Oh, wait, they did have, I think California had fallen during, I'm not sure, but I know that, okay, maybe. All right, so listen. Natalie is saying next year I can attend. Let me tell you something. If you see that a person is holding a retreat or holding a special phone call night like we had tonight, right? If you see that and you see that it is approaching or whatever, listen to your spirit. Like the people who listened to their spirit and jumped on the broadcast, right? If you see that I'm having a retreat, don't put off until next year, because we don't know what will happen. If I'm traveling with my book or whatever, or if I'm just traveling or whatever, or if I just don't listen, take advantage when you see that I do it when I'm holding a retreat or a seminar or a webinar or whatever. Do not put off for tomorrow what you can attend today. All right. And Royal is saying, how can you plan a retreat in 2 months? Very easy, because the purpose of the retreat is to get people together for a few days of healing. It's really as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So if we plan it in 3 weeks, because what ends up happening, this is what I'm going to tell you, right? When it comes to retreats and stuff like that, most people don't pay until the last 2 weeks anyway, the last day, the last 7 days, the last 24 hours. So even if you give it 6 months, people don't pay until the last 2 weeks anyway. So it's as simple as that. We know that. Royal, get it together. You can do anything in 2 months. You can do a lot. It's that doubt that you're having. You know what? Listen, you ask how. I'll show you how. I'll show you by doing it. By renting out a space and bringing people together and trusting spirit. It's as simple as that. Okay. Royal is saying California about to be shut down. When? Well, thank goodness we're going to be in the mountains away from other people. You know what? I guess we need to find out about that. Anyway, listen, I will speak with you all in the next broadcast. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is striking iron when iron is hot and taking advantage of opportunities that you see before you, because you don't know when that situation may present itself again. All right? All right. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.